Six Alive Sports presents University of Maine Black Bear Hockey. Brought to you by Coca-Cola. You can't beat the feeling. Coke.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Alfond Arena at the University of Maine for college hockey. The Maine Black Bears in the final regular season game as they play host to the BU Terriers in a very important Hockey East matchup. I'm Rich Kimball along with Dale Duff and Scott Smith, and tonight the Maine Black Bears, coming in with a record of 27 wins, 8 losses and 2 ties, will seek to clinch second place in Hockey East. Last night Boston College got a win that mathematically eliminated Maine and wrapped up the regular season Hockey East title. Maine, with a win over BU tonight, can finish up in second place, and very important as playoff time draws near. The third meeting of the two this year, each team has taken a 3-2 overtime victory, so this promises to be a good one tonight. To get a closer look at what we can expect from tonight's game, let's go upstairs to Dale Duff and Scott Smith.
Rich, thanks very much, and hello, everyone. Well, we think this is going to be a great game, kind of a high-speed, fast-paced game between two teams that like to get up and down the ice.
Two young teams, a lot of young players out there, a lot of intensity, and the coaches meet the bill also.
And as we mentioned, a win or a tie tonight guarantees Maine second place in Hockey East. Well, to take a look at a couple of the key players in tonight's matchup, one of the guys, number 15 for the Terriers, is Sean McEachern.
Well, Sean has 20 goals this year, 16 assists, 36 points for a sophomore. Last year at 48 points, and he's a man Maine has to slow down tonight. He can put the puck in the net, Dale.
That number 1 line, very, very good for the BU Terriers. And for Maine, the veteran senior player, Christian Lalonde.
Every coach wants a player like Christian Lalonde. He's had a heck of a year, a mental battle all year. He goes up on forward and plays deep. Sean moves him around, and he really hasn't been able to really find himself a position. He just keeps moving around, and he does a great job every night.
Well, as we mentioned, this is the last regular season game, and that means it's seniors night, and we've got several senior players that are getting special recognition tonight. John Massera has already been introduced. Let's go down to the ice and hear the others.
This senior is one of Maine's most improved players this season, having his best offensive season. Already surpassed his career totals in goals and points. He ranks second on the team in plus-minus at a +19. Tonight is his 142nd career game, which ranks him 8th all-time at Maine in that category. His career highlights include a goal against Bowling Green in the NCAA quarterfinals in 1988, which propelled the Bears to their first of 2 Final Four appearances. In his 142-game career, he has 8 goals and 33 assists for 41 points. His NHL rights are held by the Hartford Whalers. From Newton, Massachusetts, number 6, defenseman Jimmy Burke. This senior captain found himself playing defense this year for the first time in his career at Maine. In previous seasons, he was a top forward for the Black Bears, including the 87-88 season when he scored 20 goals. That year, he scored the game-winning goal in a 6-4 win over Minnesota, which gave the Black Bears their first undisputed #1 national ranking. He ranks 3rd all-time at Maine in games played with 155, just 4 shy of the school record held by Bob Corcoran. He scored 39 goals, 77 assists for 116 career points, which ranks him 18th all-time at Maine. From LaSalle, Quebec, number 29, defenseman Christian Lalonde. This senior is one of the most popular players ever played out on. A 2-year captain, he set the school record by recording at least 1 point in 23 consecutive games last season. He was a 1989 Hockey East All-Tournament Team selection. Also named the most valuable player in the 1987 Nissan Team Classic. This season, he recorded the 2nd hat trick of his career against the Minnesota Gophers in the first game of the Dexter Hockey Classic. Early in January, he suffered a fractured wrist in Alaska, which ended his season prematurely in 134 career games. In all, he scored 62 goals 26 points thus far. In his career, he's played 140 games, scoring 15 goals, adding 65 assists for 80 points. His NHL rights are held by the Minnesota North Stars. From Berkeley, British Columbia, number 21, defenseman Claudio Turner. Finally, the senior will graduate this spring with a 3.77 grade point average, majoring in biology, a two-time All-Hockey East and Hockey East Goalie of the Year selection. He holds 9 University Maine school records, including most career wins 64, most career saves 2,311. Drafted to have the best season in his career with 15-5-2 record, 268 goals against average, and an 89% save percentage. Ranked 5th in the nation. 104 career games, gross career record of 64-4-2, including a 41-5-3 record at home. He goals against average 3.28, 8.1 save percentage. NHL rights are held by the Fort Company. Outstanding British Columbia. Number 1, goalie Scott King. Ladies and gentlemen, Maine senior.
Well, there you have it. These folks have won 116 games in their 4 years. That is an amazing accomplishment, isn't it, Scott?
Seeing the players out there, you know why Sean has Grant Stanbrook out on the road every day in the winter trying to find players to fill those shoes. It's going to be tough.
You've got just about everything you'd ask for in senior players, from leadership, from guys who are the checkers to guys who are the scorers, and they've been a great group, and this is their last regular season home game, and the crowd here at Alphon gave them an outstanding ovation, and well-deserved at that. Scott King, as we mentioned, will be in goal for the Maine Black Bears, and it'll be a freshman by the name of Scott Cashman in goal for the BU Terriers. This is a battle for second place. Maine needs a win or a tie to guarantee second place. Now, there still is a possibility if they wind up on the negative side tonight. BU still has to play BC in their regular season finale on Tuesday night. So BC could knock off BU on Tuesday night and still have Maine get second place. But Maine has it in their own hands right now, and Sean Walsh would like to get that second place knotted up here in Hockey East. And that's Jack Parker, the Boston University Terrier coach. He's in his 17th year, and he's seen a lot of hockey.
Very successful man and a good man, and he gets the most out of his players every night. Good rapport with the younger players. He knows how to handle them, and he does a real good job.
Well, they're introducing the starting lineups for tonight's game, and Joe Sacco is their leading scorer. He will be at left wing. Sean McEachern, who is only 3 points behind Sacco, will play center, and Tony Amonte is a freshman from Massachusetts. He'll play right wing on that number 1 line.
You look at that line, you have a freshman, a sophomore, and a junior, and it's powerhouse.
One guy has 39 points, the other guy has 36, and the other guy has 36. And on defense, another freshman, Peter Ahola. He's a freshman from Finland. And Stephen Foster, another freshman blue liner, will play right defense. So BU is a very young team. And speaking of young, as we mentioned before, Scott Cashman is their goalie. He is a freshman. And now the Maine Black Bears get introduced. Brian Belfay, the senior from Massachusetts, will play left wing. Mike Barkley will center that line. He's from British Columbia and a sophomore. And Mr. Hustle, Kent Sofi from New York, will play the right wing on that line for the Bears. Interesting that Sean would begin with that line.
Maybe anticipating a little action right off the bat.
Keith Carney, the outstanding sophomore defenseman on the left side, and Brian Straub from Montana, a sophomore, will play on right defense. And as mentioned, and they're going to go with Matt Valjudas. Isn't that interesting?
Well, he had a great game down at BC last week, and even though they lost, he really stood on his head and was unbelievable.
The Air Force ROTC color guard.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the watery line one so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars to the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we once were so gallantly streaming, and rock as the heavens bursting in the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of free and
Maine and Boston University, the opening face-off is next.
Canal Dover from Amish Country is available now at Green Mountain Furniture. This solid oak with a heavy-duty finish is made for elegant, carefree living. Choose from tables for 2 to 14 with rugged pedestal bases, carved feet, and easy-to-use self-storing leaves. Green Mountain Furniture is proud to present the Canal Dover Dining Room Gallery with a full complement of chairs, hutches, corner cabinets, dry sinks, and more.
Green Mountain Furniture has more than meets the eye.
Route 16, Ossipee, New Hampshire.
outside this old world just keeps on.
Randy Travis, he's the best.
Still the real things are
What a voice.
Hello.
It's when you found the real thing.
I think he's as cute in person.
Found it.
What I wouldn't give to meet a guy like him. Hey, Julie, want to ring up this Coca-Cola Classic?
Thank
You
you.
can't beat the real thing.
All right, the referees for tonight's game is Drew Taylor. Bob Paquette and Chuck Winters will be the linesmen.
Going to have their hands full tonight, I think.
Up and down action, we think tonight. In goal, Scott Cashman, the freshman for the Terriers, and Matty Deljudas, Maine's junior goaltender. And we are set for action from Alphon. Last regular season game, second place in Hockey East, up for grabs tonight, and here we go. Sofi will dump it in for the Bears and take a hit after they dumps it in. Barkley and Belfay give McEachern a wrap, and out come the BU Terriers. Sean McEachern up the right side. Carney takes him to the boards. On it now is Sacco. He tries to center it, but no one is there but Maine players, and Barkley clears it out through the zone. Now Sofi on it, will dump it in. Maine's going to change up quickly. Now here comes Amante. Tony Amante breaks in. He's got McEachern with him. Loses the puck momentarily. Gets it back to Foster. He'll tee it up. Blocked by Pellerin. And Maine will take over. Opening stages here, Bears and Terriers from Alfond Arena. Now Maine's #1 line is out there. It's Olsen, Pellerin, and Roy. Scremin and Lalonde on defense now for Maine. BU fires it in from center ice. Maine quickly sends it outside the zone. Now Roy to Olsen. Randy tees it up, stopped by Cashman, and he'll hold on. You're going to see a lot of end-to-end action. Two teams that like to skate. If any team is unlike a Northeastern, it is BU. Wouldn't you say?
They're very young and they have a lot of enthusiasm, and they're just going to go all. They're going to go after Maine all evening.
John Walsh, over the last 2 years or so, won 75% of his games. And look at the mark of Jack Parker, huh? He's been around for, this is 17th year. Now Murphy tees it up. It goes wide of Cashman. Burke moves in deep to keep it there. And Montgomery centers it to Robitaille. His quick shot is kicked away smartly by Cashman. And it comes back to center ice. Grade A chance there for Robitaille. The Bears keep the pressure on. Downey is out there now with Montgomery. Now Jim moves behind the net. Chris tries to pin him but can't. It'll come back to Murphy. He'll just dump it in deep. Montgomery lets it go, but a BU Terrier tries to take over and does. That's Mark Chris up ahead. Regan trying to move, but Downey checks him, and Mark Chris fires it in. The Terriers want to change up now. That's an icing call on BU.
Hockey fans say, boy, Maine and BU have a lot of young players out there. How can he have such great records and doing so well with all these young players in the lineup? It's right there, Matt Del Judas and Cashman on the other end. Good goaltenders, you know, they really help. They're the nucleus of a winning team, and it's proved right here with these two teams.
Well, you see the history between these two teams. It is very, very close, and as Rich mentioned at the top of the show, they played earlier in the year a back-to-back weekend series at BU. Maine won the first one 3-2 in overtime. BU won the second one 3-2 in overtime. Straub's shot never reaches the net. It's blocked down in front, and BU starts back. This is the Bavis identical twins line on with Kevin O'Sullivan. More on that in a moment. But Lacouture tries to move in for Maine. He's all down. And we've got a whistle as the referee is going to call a penalty. I don't think it's on the initial play, however. I think it's for some action behind the net. Tepper is going off for sure for Maine.
I think everyone was involved on that whistle there, and a little extra.
And Mike Bavis, number 18, is going off. This is not the penalty call, though, as this is what the fans wanted a call there.
Could have been a hold there, and Steve Tepper goes behind the net, and he really couldn't pick up what happened there.
Something after the whistle, and they're whistled off for matching minor penalties, and it comes at the 17:46 mark. Tepper and Mike Bavis.
Originally, I thought it was John Macera. He was doing it in front also.
It'll be Barkley and Ahola on the draw. It comes back to center ice, and Brian Straub goes back to get it. It's 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. Now Keith Carney ahead. Can't quite connect with Barkley. Now Mike Sullivan goes after it for the Terriers. Rubbed out of the play by Straub. Barkley joins in on the fray, as does McEachern, and Maine wins the battle for the moment. Here comes Kent Sulfai. BU player goes down, but the puck's under him. Sulfai tripping to get that thing free. Crowd wants a penalty, saying that it should have been a delay of game call. Now Scremin tees it up, blocked down in front. Sulfai continues to work hard, but Ahola skates it out of there for BU. This is McEachern flying up the right side, trying to make a move on Scremin, fires it on Del Judas, and he'll hold on.
Both teams not wasting much time getting involved, Dale.
Must have been a kind of a tough choice maybe for Walsh to decide to go with Del Judas, even though he's the hot goalie. Scott King, the senior, in his last regular season game.
See McEachern with a nice backhander on Matty. Covers it up smart, gets a whistle, and gets some fresh troops out. know, Sean feels Matt Deljudas is playing well. He might as well go with him.
Now out breaks Pellerin, trying to move in with Roy. Tried to center that pass, but Von Stefanelli did a nice job there to prevent that. Phil Von Stefanelli.
I won't even try that
one of my
Dale.
favorite names. Now Tony Amonte winds up for BU. Tries to go around one man and does. Pellerin takes a stick to him, and down goes Von Stefanelli. He's on it again. There's a shot in front, tipped. And Deljudas flips it high in the air, and the Bears clear the zone. That thing was tipped for a moment. Now Roy against Stefanelli. He'll put on the brakes. Get back up and is knocked back down, and the puck winds up under him for a whistle.
Whatever happened to the easy last names like Smith?
Yeah, BU's got some beauties here. Von Stefanelli and Kosmakaki, Brownscheidel, a few others.
I'm glad that's your job, Dale.
Here's the play where Deljudas had to be very quick.
That comes out and just knocks the rebound right out, and he says, what the heck, I'm going to skate this out, and just flips it out high, and it gets tipped. Scott Pellerin bounces out the zone.
We have played almost 4 minutes in this first period of play. Remember, it's 4-on-4 for the moment, for another 22 seconds, in fact, as Tepper and Bavis remain in the penalty box on matching minors. Peter Ahola from Finland tries to move it in, but Maine comes back. Montgomery has got Robitaille, but can't get a stick on it, and he's going to get a penalty on BU, and that's why he couldn't get the stick down.
Rob Regan saw Martin going in. He had to pull him down. Martin was in all alone.
We'll take a break in the action, and when we come back, the Bears will have the power play.
So, did you bring the Coca-Cola Classic? Billy was supposed to. Not me. Michael! Michael!
Michael! Billy forgot the Coca-Cola Classic. Coming right up.
Can't beat it. Feeling you got. Yes. From a Coca-Cola Classic.
That's my Michael.
Can't beat the real thing.
Jimmy Montgomery going down the left side and feeds Martin Robitaille, and he's in all alone, and Regan just has to pull him down. You can't let a guy like Martin Robitaille walk in all alone on your goaltender.
BU gets the draw and fires it down the ice. It's a 4-on-3 for the moment. Now the matching minors are over, so it'll be a 5-on-4 advantage for Maine. Sean Walsh has Jim Burke out there with Roy and Pellerin and Robitaille and Carney. Von Stefanelli just drives it down in the main end. A minute and a half now left on the penalty to BU. No score. Battling for second place tonight between Maine and BU. Robitaille moves in. Burke to Carney. Couldn't get the stick on it. Now just drives it in deep. Robitaille behind the net. Back it'll come to Carney, and he'll get it back to Martin.
BU doesn't want to let Maine set up on the blue line. They want to force him.
Carney tees it up, never reaches the net. Blocked down in front, rebound, just went wide of Cashman. Now Von Stefanelli knocks it down the center ice and back to Deljudas, and the Terriers want to change up in a hurry. Robitaille is back quickly for Maine. Ahead to Pellerin. Now it is Montgomery. Holding, checked by Chris. Keeps it in front. Robitaille jumps over his stick. Back it'll come to Burke, and it jumps over his stick. .25 seconds now left on the penalty to Regan. This is the first power play of the game, and this is Brian Downey trying to break in. He's poke checked by Mike Sullivan, and Randy Olson is on it for the Bears now. Couldn't connect with Montgomery, and BU sends it down and changes up again. Just 5 seconds now left on the penalty. Montgomery is flying to Downey. He'll drop it. There's a shot on by Olson. It goes wide. Wanted to get it back to a pass, I think, but now Montgomery, backhander in front, kicked away, and is cleared out, and here comes McEachern. Up the right side he comes. He's got Joe Sacco, 2-on-2. Centering pass, kicked away, sticked away by Del Judas. And now Maine skates it back. End-to-end, fast-paced action, and here we go. Sulfide moves in against Ahola. Ahola takes him down. Now Sulfide takes him down, and it's going to be a penalty on Maine. It's on Kent Sulfide.
Kent trying to get up just gives him a little grab and pulls Ahola down to the ice, and he's going to be off for that one.
Penalty is over to Regan, and so now we'll see what BU can do on the power play. Here's the call.
You see Kent comes right hard in the corner with Ahola. Just tries busting around him, and he knows he's going down. He says, I'm going to take you with me, pal. And,
and the ref was standing right there.
A player like Kent Sulfide is going to get penalties, though. He's intense, and he's going 100 miles an hour every shift.
He's the freshman from Clifton Park, New York. He's Mr. Hustle. And here come the Terriers with their power play. Legault, Alex Legault fires it in. He's got McEachern and Joe Sacco out there. Amante is out there, as well as Von Stefanelli. Let's see what happens here. This is Von Stefanelli to Legault. Legault, around one man, moves in deep, shoots and scores. Alex Legault on the power play, and quickly the Terriers have grabbed the lead.
Real smart play by Legault. He comes in on Jimmy Burke, and Jimmy goes down to block the shot. Legault fakes it and wheels right around him, beats Matt on the inside, the glove side, upstairs. You see Jimmy going down, thinking he's going to pass or shoot. He just walks in. There's BU players all over. It's a 2-on-0 right there, and he just lets one go and beats Matty.
Well, he's a freshman from Quebec, Alex Legault, and it's his 5th goal of the year. He's a defenseman.
You gotta love those defensemen scoring goals. Unfortunately, it's BU.
It comes just 8 minutes into the game, and the Terriers on top. Now wing to wing it goes. In comes Darren McDonald. Shot on, never reaches Del Judas. Now Kosamaki is out there with McDonald and Regan. The Bears pinned in for the moment, but Carney starts it back. Lacouture out over the zone. It'll come, and here comes John Macera. He'll try to move in, haul down on the play, reaches Cashman. He'll send it to the corner. Now Chris. Ahead it'll come. Rob Regan is number 8, and he'll fire it in and go after. Now BU wants to change up, make wholesale changes. 1-0 Terriers lead on a power play goal. Ahola drives it in. Pellerin sends him to the ice with a great check. Von Stefanelli and McEachern get assists on that goal, by the way. Now in breaks Ronan. Down on the play, Olsen and Scremin tie him up. 2 more BU players go in after it. And finally, Pellerin gets it to center ice. Here comes Roy. He'll shoot. Stopped by Cashman. Rebound out in front, but it's cleared away by BU. End-to-end action, Maine and BU. On it is Sullivan. Now Thomason. He'll move in. Shot is blocked and goes wide. Now Amante moving right in on Del Judas. Stopped in front, and here come the Bears. Roy tries to get around Von Stefanelli, but can't. Or Downey, rather. Comes BU. Now Amante tried to connect with McEachern, but couldn't do it. Del Judas will play it. We've played 9 minutes here in this first period of play, live from Alfond Arena. Now Burke drives it in deep in front. Robitaille goes down. Downey can't get the centering pass, and we've got a penalty on BU.
Scott Cashman, Martin Robitaille coming through the slot area and just knocked him down. Good call. That was an excellent call.
We'll take a break in the action, and the Bears will be on the power play again. It is 1-0 BU.
The invoice sale continues at Goodwin's Chevrolet.
Frank, that's another one of our competitors telling us we cannot possibly continue this invoice sale any longer.
Dave, you know they're right. We can't sell cars at invoice forever.
Due to tremendous response, this sale has been extended to February 28th.
That's a fantastic idea because the public has really been buying our cars and trucks at tremendous savings so far.
Why don't you come into Goodwin's during the invoice sale and save?
Goodwin's Chevrolet, Brunswick.
A lot of heavy hitting. We can see why Scott Pellerin loves to hit. Takes Peter Ola, just hammers him. He's probably given 20 pounds there, and he's a solid checker.
That is Scott Pellerin hockey right there. All right, let's see what the Bears do on the power play. Scremin quickly tees it up, never reaches. There's a shot on, stopped by Cashman. I don't know how he saw that in front of a pack of players in front, but somehow it was stopped.
We'll see here on this power play, BU forwards will really force the Maine defenseman on the blue line because they know that Maine likes to set it up off the blue line. Here we can see the scramble in front. Maine won the face-off. Scott Cashman showing great concentration, just comes right out and makes the save. To re-emphasize the point, BU doesn't want Maine to set the puck up on the blue line. You know, you have some great quarterbacks out there. Claudio Scremin, Keith Carney's out there. Those are the men Sean wants to have the puck. So as we watch now, BU will just come right out after him. They won't give him any time to set up.
All right, on the draw, it is Maine's Montgomery against David Tomlinson. Let's see what happens here. It come back to Maine. Straub gets the scrim, and he's got some ice. Wanted to get the pass back. Now Olsen's backhander blocked down in front. He's on it again, though. Back it'll come to Straub, and now to Scremin. He tried to get that pass back to Olsen. Flips up in the air and out over the zone. Maine quickly fires it back in, and they'll go after him. Olsen is there first for the Bears. Against the boards with Ahola, and Downey joins in. Also Tomlinson there for BU. Finally, the Terriers work it out of there. It's 1-0 BU leading Maine in the regular season finale for Maine. Remember, BU has a game against Boston College Tuesday night. The Hockey East playoffs begin next weekend. And remember that Maine is in there. Sean Walsh knows that he'll either be number 2 or number 3.
Hopefully number 2, because then the way it looks now, they'll play Lowell, and I think they'd rather have Lowell come up to the Alphont and play than New Hampshire.
Well, BU very successful when they get that first goal, but on the other end, Maine isn't too bad either when the opposition scores, so no panic set in on the Bears bench. Maine on the power play, trying to make something happen. The puck squirts to Cashman, and he'll simply hold on for a whistle. Cashman is a freshman, but he's one of those 20-year-old freshmen. In fact, he'll be 21 this fall. He's from Ontario, and so he's not just a freshman player right out of high school.
I saw him today at their pregame skate, and he looked like he was about 15 years old.
Really?
Yes. I thought he might be a trainer or something. He's got the youngest face on him. Talked to Coach Parker today, and he said he's just a great kid. He's turned into a real leader, and for a freshman, that's coming from Jack Parker, that means something.
I think BU was a little concerned about their goaltending at the beginning of the year, but boy, Cashman has been the answer. Now back it'll come to Burke, quickly to Carney. They play pass. Look at that sharp passing by the Bears. BU remains in the box, however. Now Burke and Rouard change places. Carney, he'll tee it up and drive it just wide. It went all the way through, but wide to the right side. Carney again. This time passing it to Robitaille. Back to the blue line it'll come. Now in front, knocked down by BU and cleared out of there by Mike Sullivan.
See, Maine looks to move the puck down low, starting from the point. So if BU can shut down the point, they'll have success.
There's a little bouncing puck that Cashman had to be careful of. Boy, those bouncing pucks sometimes are tough for those goalies.
I've seen a few of those go in.
You know, when the crowd at Alphon's going woo, because that was close. Just a little chip shot that kind of bounced in, and Jack Parker doing a little explaining to Darren McDonald and some others. Parker interesting. He, at one point last year, decided he was going to get done coaching and was going to be the new AD at BU. And then, I don't know, what was it, a couple of weeks later, decided that...
Couldn't take it. Had to get back behind the bench.
Coaching is his thing, and so he stayed on board. Now McEachern and Barkley, rather. There's a shot, they score! In front, Kent Sulphi, I think.
BU defenseman standing around, not helping Scott Cashman out, letting 3 or 4 rebound shots, and Kent Sulphi is going to put those in if you let him hit it, knock around it long enough.
And I'm not sure that it was a power play goal. I think the penalty had expired.
Scott Cashman makes 2 saves, the puck's right out, and everybody's kind of standing around instead of picking up men and knocking people down in that slot area. Kent Sulphi just pumps it in.
All right, for Sulphi, it is goal number 5 on the year, and he atones for that penalty with goal number 5 on the year. Gets the crowd at Alphond up and at it. 8:25 left in this first period. Maine 1, BU 1. And great action so far. Now Sulphi is right in it again as the linesman. Sulphi and Mike Sullivan going at it there. Sacco, rather, Joe Sacco. They finally drop the puck and the Terriers take over. Amante drives it in and takes a hit. McEachern goes in, but Scremin is there for the Bears. Can't clear the zone. Now it is poked out of there. Sulphi can't quite get to it, but Stefanelli did a nice job to keep it away from him. Now ahead. McEachern can't connect with that pass, and Del Judas will stick it to the corner. McEachern, though, is on it. Now Amante looks to center and does. Ronan's shot stopped by Del Judas, and that was going to be tricky as Rob Regan had a point-blank shot.
Rob Regan came off the bench on a change and just came right up the neutral zone and right into the slot area, and no one picked him up. No one picked him up, and he had a great scoring opportunity. You can see him coming down the slot, and he just directed one at Matty. Good save. A little bit better angle, you can see. No one, everybody was watching the puck, being mesmerized a little bit, and you have to watch for those guys coming off the bench.
Koskamaki out there on the draw with Steve Tepper. It is won by Maine. This is the Tepper, Lacouture, and Macera line. John Macera drives it in. Lacouture goes after it. Is called down on the play. The crowd wanted a call in front. Never reaches the goalie, and Koskamaki tries to move out. This is Regan. He'll come up the left side, loses the puck for the moment, or he would have had a shot on. Continues to hold. There's a shot, blocked down in front. I think it hit a BU player in front. It did. Koskamaki, in fact. Foster keeps it in. Del Judas will hold on this time. Well, Regan had a shot, but I know that puck hit a BU player because he was hunched over afterward. That hurt.
Little breakdown in the defensive zone, and that's when you have to pick people up and just play man for man and reorganize yourself and get regrouped.
Well, there's Rob Regan, very much involved in that last shift, that's for sure.
A couple good scoring opportunities, 16 points this year, 11 goals, 5 assists.
Now Maine's Jim Montgomery starts out with Keith Carney, who will drive it in. Montgomery will go after it. He'll go against Mark Christ. Downey is in there now, along with Brownscheidel. Now Carney moves in deep. 5 players are there to move that puck along. Dug out by Montgomery. In front, Robitaille couldn't get a stick on it. Now Sullivan. Straub keeps it in, though, for Maine. Sullivan and Robitaille working hard. Downey now sends Christ to the ice and maintains control of the puck. Straub just can't keep it in, though. With 8 shots on net already, the BU Terriers with 3. We've got 6.5 minutes left in this first period. It is Maine 1 and Boston University 1. Here comes Rua up the right side. He'll shoot, stop, score!
Roy picks the puck up, neutral ice, turns on the Jets, and he just goes wide on the defenseman. Takes a nice, hard, quick wrist shot on Cashman. Cashman puts the rebound right back to him. And you see him turn his stick right around to his forehand side, knock that puck in. That's a great goal. That is a great goal.
Le Pompier, the fireman from Quebec.
A little different angle. This is some talent. He just turns right back on his forehand, has great concentration on the puck. Coach Nonis told me he has one of the best shots in the league.
He is the top scoring freshman in the country with goal number 33, and the Bears have a 2-1 lead. Pellerin gives a man another hit in front, and now Lalonde tees it up. It's knocked down in front and skips to center ice. But did you see that hit by Pellerin? Holy smokes, that's 2 of them. Grade A checks by Pellerin already tonight. We've only played 15 minutes. Now Tomlinson goes to the corner with O'Sullivan. In front, the puck goes. There's a shot knocked down in front. Del Judas can't get a handle to it. Finally, it's cleared to the corner and then outside the zone. Now Von Stefanelli tees it up, and Del Judas has it stopped, and it squirted in the air for the moment and cleared away. Now Belfay can't connect with Sulfai, who was on the fly up the right side. Back comes Amante, trying to get control of the puck, wins. Now in front, Del Judas tries to sweep it aside, finally does. And Sulfai can't connect wing to wing. He'll bust in, Cashman comes out and holds on to the puck. Now he'll try to clear. Barkley knocks it down. Belfay joins in against Ahola. And the action continues to be non-stop. Now Stephen Foster moves it ahead for BU as Belfay lined up a man but missed him on that check, and both teams will make changes. 4.5 minutes left in this fast and furious first period. It is Maine 2, BU 1. Now Kazamaki drives it in. Del Judas will play it though for the Bears. Weird bounce off the boards and kept in by Ahola. Maine will now take over. At center ice, Lacouture tried to move it ahead but couldn't. Now Burke ahead, almost connected with Tepper. Tepper goes in after it. He is ridden to the boards hard by Foster. Both of them go down. Both of them are back up and still battling. Now it's ridden out of there by Peter Ahola. Behind the play, Tepper is down. Crowd wanted a penalty. Shot on by Ronan doesn't go. Kazamaki is in there with Burke. Now it'll come to O'Sullivan. Burke moves to clear it out of there. Can't quite do it, but we've got a whistle. And we got a penalty, and it's going to be matching penalties, I think. We'll take a break in the action. The score is Maine 2 and BU 1.
Dad.
For what, son?
For Frank Pomelos.
For Frank Parmelos?
Yeah, this is your home furnishing train and it's headed to Augusta.
And the car goes for Frank Parmelos?
All except for the bubble gum, that's for me.
Are you sure your train is big enough? You know, Frank Parmelos has a huge inventory of home furnishings.
There's 6 more trains coming behind this one.
Oh, well that ought to handle it then.
That's how come Frank Pomelos can keep their prices so low.
You know, I think you're gonna go far. You mind if I hitch a ride?
Sure, Dad. Hop aboard.
Here we can see Steve Tepper doing battle in the corner with a Foster, and they're doing a little holding and pulling along the ice, thinking he's a Zamboni. Sean sent Claudio Scremin over asking for a penalty. On the other end, Brian Downey doing his job, taking his man right to the net, and the six got a little high.
So we've got matching penalties. It'll be Regan and Downey. Downey's call is holding, Regan's call is cross-checking, and so it'll be 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. 3:28 left in this first period of play. Maine with a 2-1 lead. What a beautiful goal by Roy. How many times have we said that this year? Oh, what a beauty though it was. Now Robitaille for Maine through center ice. He'll connect with Carney. Moving in against Von Stefanelli, puts on the brakes and brings it back. Strop tees it up and one-times it just wide of Cashman. was close again for the Bears. Now through center ice. That'll be icing on Maine, as Straub wanted to connect with Winger but couldn't quite do it. Well, it's 2-1 Maine leading, and we want to remind you that during our first intermission, we'll talk to the captain of the BU Terriers, Mike Sullivan. We'll also speak with Maine assistant coach Bruce Crowder, and we'll have stats and highlights. Rich Kimball with all that and more coming up in between periods. 2 minutes and 55 seconds left in action here in period number 1. McEachern goes down on the play. To the corner he goes again. He continues to work hard. You can see why he's so talented for the BU Terriers. When he's out there, he is everywhere. But so isn't this guy, number 28 for Maine. Now Lalonde through center ice and up the right side, drops it through Watt. Back to Lalonde, in front, score! Scott Pellerin!
For a prettier goal. Christian Lalonde with a beautiful pass over to Scott Pellerin. He faked the shot. Cashman went for the fake, and Scotty had an empty net. Johnny Drouin and Christian had a great play on the boards there, and then Christian just feeds it over to Scott Pellerin. Nice little forehand in the net. Scott Cashman didn't have a chance on that little better angle. You can see the give and go from Drouin down to Christian. He just slides it over to Scotty, and bang, it's in the net. 3-1.
And for Maine, here comes Olsen again. In front, Burke's shot is held onto by Cashman, and that was from about 3 feet away. And the Bears are really buzzing around Cashman now. By the way, for Lalonde, he's playing in game number 156 in his career. That ties him with Dave Wensley. With Dave Wensley for second place on the list. Some audio trouble, and we're going to have penalties here on both teams as the action has been hot and heavy. You can tell these two teams are very intense. Let's see if we can pick it up. Legault is going off. It's going to be a 5-minute major penalty on Koskamaki, I believe. All right, check that, but take that back. It's going to be on Olsen. Randy Olsen is getting a 5-minute call. And he is done.
Drew Taylor's got his hands full.
Wow. So. Oh boy, measles. Look at the fan. Hey, get your shots or
hit the road.
Wear the face mask or whatever. But I'm sure everybody here tonight has checked their medical records and made sure that they are properly inoculated or whatever. Sean Walsh is not happy with this situation now, as Olson is gone for the night, I think, or at least a 5-minute major. He's at least done for the period. At 1:55 left in this period, and he wants Drew Taylor to explain things here. BU is also getting a penalty, a 2-minute penalty, but the thing is that Randy Olson is getting a 5 minutes.
Let's get him ready to go. Yeah, okay, way to take over, Drew. Way to take over. Let's go.
Jack Parker happy with the call on Randy Olson.
All right, so now it is 3-on-3. Ahola trying to move in, but can't, and Joe Sacco will start up again now. He's got David Tomlinson out there. A lot of ice for the last minute and a half here in period 1. Sacco tees it up and drives it wide of Del Judas. Ahola now moves it in. Remember, 3-on-3, and now 2 players come back. That was the matching minor calls from a couple of minutes ago, and so now it is 4-on-4. Here comes Jim Burke from Maine, ahead to Montgomery. McEachern drives him to the ice, and a penalty coming up on BU.
McEachern going to go off for a cross check.
And you can tell the referee, Drew Taylor, definitely wants to make sure this thing stays under control, because the 2 teams are a little bit irate at each other now.
He's got to maintain control. You can see a little cross check right to the head area of Jimmy Montgomery. Probably smarted a little bit.
The Bears with a 3-1 lead with 1:12 left in this first period of play. Maine on goals from Sulfai, Roy, and Pellerin. And Jack Parker's team hasn't won here at Alphond in their last 5 times here, and he's trailing again. And so now Maine has the power play, 4-on-3. Pellerin moves it in behind the net. On it is Von Stefanelli. And Sullivan will drive it down on Del Judas. Last minute of play here in the period. It is 4-on-3. Sullivan intercepts, moves in to the backhand. He flips it wide and high, and it winds up into the net, and that'll mean a whistle. Sullivan will kick himself for flipping that up too high.
You don't give Mike Sullivan that many chances like that before he finishes it off. Martin Robitaille just loses the puck, and Mike walks in all alone and pulls Matty out of the net, and his backhand just went over the net, and that was scary. See Martin just overskates the puck a little bit, and Keith Carney desperately trying to get back, swings his stick, but no good, and Mike had the upper shelf there, and he just pulled it a little too high.
136 career points for Sullivan over the years, but he won't get 135 on that one, and he's kicking himself. Now Tomlinson moves in. Del Judas holds that corner. All of a sudden, the Terriers are buzzing around Del Judas. 42 seconds now left in the period.
Matt with a great save. Couldn't find that puck.
The old hidden puck trick. Montgomery and Tomlinson on the draw. It come back to center ice. Now a half a minute. Maine remains on the power play thanks to that penalty to McEachern. It's 4-on-3. Pellerin moves in on the right side. Tried to center it. Montgomery. Now Robitaille is on it. He's out there with Scremin. Trying to get that puck to him. Instead goes to Montgomery. Robitaille. Now Stremmen moves in. He'll shoot. And it's stopped by Cashman with the glove. Robitaille is on it. Here's Stremmen buzzing again. Tomlinson intercepts that pass, though, for BU.
Big save on Claudio Stremmen by Cashman. Claudio walked right in and took a look and saw a little bit of an open net there and went for it.
Well, that's the end of the first period of play, and it was everything as advertised. Maine leads it 3-1 over the Terriers.
So, did you bring the Coca-Cola Classic? Billy was supposed to. Not me! Michael!
Michael! Michael! Billy forgot the Coca-Cola Classic! Coming right up!
Can't beat it. Feeling you got.
Yes!
From a Coca-Cola Classic.
That's my Michael.
Can't beat the real thing.
You're gonna reach for it today. You're in the pursuit of excellence, and nothing's gonna stand in your way. It's a challenge to your mind, calling to your heart. You know you'll never be the same. A tradition of excellence, the University of Maine. Your hour, you can feel the Black Bear power calling you on to be the best you can be. You man, this is your hour. You man, you'll never be the same. A tradition of excellence, the University of Maine. The University of Maine.
And we're back at the Alfond Arena, intermission after period number 1. And the Maine Black Bears holding a 3-1 lead over the Terriers of Boston University. And it has been a good first period indeed for Maine tonight. And what's been a great series this year, 2 overtime games between these two teams. Joining us in our first intermission is BU captain and senior wing Mike Sullivan. Mike, every time you guys play Maine, it seems like it's one of these hard-hitting, gut-check type of games.
Yeah, over the past 4 years, it's really turned into quite a rivalry. Maine's a real good, hard-checking team, and they're a good skating team, and you know, we do pretty well out there too. So over the, like I said, over the past 3 or 4 years, it's really turned into quite a rivalry out there.
Well, it's always great fun to get down there for the Maine people to get out and play in Boston. What's it like for you guys to play up here at Alfond?
It's nice, we get a warm welcome every time we come up here from the fans, obviously. But we like playing up here. We've played pretty well up here over the past 3 years. We haven't seemed to have been able to come out with a win, but hopefully we'll change our luck this year.
You guys have been playing very well lately. You've been on a roll, had an 11-game winning streak going there for a while. You've been getting some great goaltending too.
Yeah, we have. We've got dynamite, consistent goaltending all year from Scott Cashman. He's played really well, and we think he's a real MVP of our team. And we went through a lot of adversity over the month of December. I think we went 1-6, and we knew we had some good players, and the team really pulled together. And so far, we've been on a roll the second half of the season.
Well, you play Maine tonight, and then you have your last regular season game against Boston College. Is that a big one for you, even though they've clinched the regular season title? Do you want to prove that you can beat the #1 team?
Yeah, it really is. We've played them 3 times already this year, and we've beat them twice. So just from a pride standpoint, we'd like to get another victory. And also, if we can beat Maine tonight and beat BC again on Tuesday night, then that'll secure second place for us, which hopefully would be get us an NCAA bid in the national tournament.
How do you see the Hockey East tournament? Too tough to call?
It really is. It's really come down to the last wire, the last 2 games of the season. The league is so tight. There's just so much parity across the top 4 or 5 teams. It's really too close to call.
All right, tonight's game, a wild one. You guys got the early lead. Maine's come back with 3 straight. Let's talk for a minute. Do you know what happened on the 5-minute penalty against Olsen? What went on there?
Well, I didn't really see it. It happened right in front of our bench, but I was watching the play, and it just seemed something went on back in the corner with our player, Alex Legault, and Olsen, I think it is, from Maine. And, he just came back and hit our guy, and they gave him a 5-minute major, and they gave Alex Legault a 2-minute minor. So I think the linesman saw it and told the referee. I don't even think the referee saw it.
There didn't seem to be much disagreement there, and Coach Parker was happy with things when the 5-minute was assessed.
Yeah, it was. It's just a real emotional game, especially when you get two rivalries that are, you know, so closely matched out there, and you know your emotions run high out there, and those things happen.
All right, Mike, congratulations too on the Bean Pod. Great job there, and we wish you well against Boston College and in the playoffs until you meet Maine.
Thank you very much.
Mike Sullivan of the BU Terriers. Its first intermission, Maine leading Boston University by a score of 3-1. We'll be back.
Unconditional love awaits you at the Doghouse. Quality pets since 1948. Come visit the Doghouse, home of the original penny sale and tropical fish every weekend. The Doghouse, Auburn Mall, Cook's Corner, Brunswick, and South Portland. Just a bone's throw from Service Merchandise.
Randy Travis, he's the best.
Still the real things are.
What a voice.
Hello. When you found the real thing.
I think he's as cute in person. What I wouldn't give to meet a guy like him. Hey, Julie, want to ring up this Coca-Cola Classic?
Thank you. Can't beat the real thing.
I'm Tom Brokaw. Next week, News Center and NBC Nightly News take a closer look at two of the most powerful men in the country, both with close ties to Maine. News Center's Pat Callahan takes us through the halls of power on Capitol Hill with Senate Majority Leader George Mitchell. And on Wednesday, I'll host an NBC News special on a day in the life of President Bush at the White House. When you need to know, count on News Center 6 and NBC Nightly News only on 6 Alive.
It's a 3-1 Maine lead after the first period here at the Alfond Arena, the regular season finale for the Maine Black Bears as they take on the Terriers of Boston University. Joining us here in our first intermission is Maine assistant coach Bruce Crowder. One of the keys to Maine's success over the last few years. Bruce came out of the University of New Hampshire and spent some seasons with the Boston Bruins, was a fine pro player. And before we talk to him, we want to take a look at some of the highlights of Bruce's NHL career. That's not the entire Bruce Crowder highlight tape. There's a lot more than that.
Well, there might be one more goal. I don't know. I know you guys really had to be searching when you showed the same goal 4 times. Everybody thinks, geez, Crowder's doing pretty good. That's 1, 2, that's 5 goals he's got. What game?
What's striking about that is to say, and you're still a young man, to see all the guys who are playing with you who aren't in the game anymore.
Well, the two guys I played with in those games, Rick Middleton and Barry Peterson, I think a goal post or a fire hydrant would score with those guys, so I was very fortunate. The other reason I might look so young is I never went in the corners, I tell people, and I stayed in the peripheral areas and didn't like the rough stuff.
Bruce, you've been a big part of this Maine success. Since you've come along, the hockey team's enjoyed its best years, the trips to the Final Four, constant national ranking, and obviously you have to be one of the key reasons for that. You've brought some respectability to the program. You've been out on the road a lot. What do you see as your biggest job with the Maine team?
Well, I think it's a combination of things. I think one of the things I was able to do as a professional player was I was able to look and see what the team needed, you know, what it would take for me to stay with the team and different concepts to winning. I was very fortunate. Most of the teams that I played for ended up having winning seasons with a couple of good ones in Boston. My role here is, I work a lot with the forwards. We do a lot with them, some penalty killing units, power play. And last year was a lot of recruiting, actually, because we brought in, you see some of the talent we brought in tonight, and along with Grant Stanbrook and myself, Greg Cronin, and Sean last year. So I think it's a mixture. I like to think I wear a lot of different hats.
So many players on this Maine team that have been drafted and have gone on to have success in the pros. I read an interesting quote by the Harvard coach Billy Cleary a while ago, who said, we have players who go on to the NHL, but that's not our goal. Our job isn't to produce National Hockey League players, but it's to make sure that all the players on the team get a positive experience from this. How do you guys do that with the Maine team?
Well, it's kind of I take my job sometimes to kind of put the kids into place, because it's very easy to get big heads with the sold-out arena and television coverage and everything like that, and to really try to keep things in perspective, because Billy Cleary is right. The whole thing is we want them to have a great experience, but we want them to get their degree, number one, and that's my major goal, because I saw a lot of players put all their eggs in the one basket professionally. When they were done at 26, 27, then that was it.
All right, they want to go back and take another look. We haven't seen enough of Bruce Crowder in action, so let's go back and see the highlights with sound.
He beat Bruce Crowder, set up by Fergus, and it is 5-4 Boston.
You were just a kid.
Actually, there's a lot of kids in the NHL are just kids. When I played, I was 22. I got out when I was 28, so I played for 6 years. It's a young man's game.
Great. Bruce, we're awfully glad to have you here. You've been a key reason for Maine's success, and we know that the guys are looking forward to another trip to the NCAA's Hockey East playoffs coming up. We wish you good luck the rest of the way.
Oh, thank you, Rich.
Bruce Crowder, assistant coach of the Maine Black Bears. They lead this one 3-1 after the first period. Maine and BU, period number 2, coming right up.
Tickets that are worth something. Speeding ticket, $50. Dry cleaning ticket, $12.50. Parking ticket, $5. First balcony tickets to a second-run show, $16 each. Another parking ticket, $10. Boston Red Sox ticket, right field, bleacher seats, $12. Low number ticket from Stan's Deli, $9.50, and a coupon for free potato chips. Movie ticket for 2, $10. Ski ticket, $25. This week's winning Tri-State Megabucks ticket, about $1 million. Now that's the ticket. Tri-State Megabucks. Play this week and just imagine.
Speaking about family matters, here's Dr. Judd Smith.
You can't read or write. You're not alone. 25 million American adults are illiterate. Illiterate adults live in a dark world where they can't write a check or read a sign. But no matter what your age, you can learn to read. I'm Dr. Judd. Being illiterate means feeling ashamed. It also means living with the fear you're going to be found out. But it doesn't mean you're dumb. So first, stop blaming yourself. Then get some help from volunteer organizations like Literacy Volunteers or Project Plus. Or call your local high school, college, or State Department of Education to ask for help. Even an understanding friend can teach you. The world is a dark place if you can't read or write. It takes a smart person to turn on the light and read.
Watch 6 Alive and Dr. Judd Smith, because family matters.
Okay, back at Alfond Arena, you see the score. The Bears lead the Terriers by a score of 3-1. The Terriers get on the board first with a power play goal, but quickly the Bears got things tied up again. And the first goal for the Bears came from Kent Sulfi, who was in the box when BU scored, and here it is.
Well, nice rebound comes right out to Kent, and he has great concentration. Just stays in there and works hard like he does every night, and he gets a nice rebound goal.
It turns out to be his 5th goal of the year. That made it 1-1. And then here's the pretty one.
Here's a goal score for you. He takes the initial shot and he follows the puck right up. Make sure he can get control of the rebound. It takes a time, gets on his forehand, and just taps the puck past Scott Cashman.
Now that's in slow motion, but how much time would you say? Less than a second, right?
Yeah, real quick. He's got real quick hands, and he moves his stick around quick to get on his forehand. That's a natural goal score. Here we'll see a great play by Jean-Yves and Christian Lalonde. Little give and go, back down to Christian Lalonde, who can see Scott Pellerin off to the side of the net, and he just slaps it through the legs of the BU defenseman, and it's a 4-by-6 empty net goal for Scotty Pellerin.
And so that made the score 3-1, and that's where we stand after the first period. Impressions?
Well, Maine's doing the little things. They're finishing their checks. They're getting in front of Scott Cashman and picking up the loose rebounds.
The scoring summary: Alex Legault gets the first goal. McEachern and Stefanelli get the assists. Kent Sulphi made it a 1-1 score. Give Belfay and Barclay the assists. Then it was Roy from Pellerin and Straub, 2-1 Bears, and then Scott Pellerin give Roy and Lalonde the assists, and it's a 3-1 score after the first 20 minutes. A lot of rubber faced by the goalies so far.
Maine was taking a lot of shots, and they had a lot of shots in close in the high slot area because Scott Cashman does give a lot of rebounds, and that's where they're going to pick up some more goals.
Well, this is a battle for second place, and any thought that, well, because first place is out of reach, there wouldn't be any intensity, it was certainly taken care of in this first period, wasn't it?
Well, we can see on the stats, the face-offs, Maine's won 17 face-offs, and that's unbelievable. I mean, that's showing great face-off intensity, and right now that's probably the most important stat of the night. The quality shots tied 7-7. The block shots, Maine's blocked some big shots coming in on Matt Del Judas, and I know Matt appreciates that. So hopefully they can do a little bit of the same through this second period.
All right, well, as we begin play in the second period, let me set the scene again for you. Now, Olsen still has 3 minutes and 5 seconds left on what was called a major penalty for high sticking. So it's a 5-minute major. He's got just over 3 minutes left in that penalty. Meanwhile, Legault still has 5 seconds left in his penalty, and McEachern has 48 seconds left in his penalty. And so as we begin this period, the Bears will have a power play, a 4-on-3 power play, and for 5 seconds, and basically it is over now. So now we're skating 4-on-4. And in about 30 seconds time, BU will have the power play. And it is 3-1 as we get things started. Straub and Carney play the blue line for the Bears. Out there is Pellerin and Roy. Legault out there now with Von Stefanelli, along with Tomlinson and Sullivan. Maine will make the quick changes here in the opening stages of period 2. Now the penalty is over, and BU will begin the power play. 5-on-4, BU with the advantage starting now. And it'll be for another 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
Interesting on a five-minute major, if BU happens to score, Randy Olsen isn't going to come out of the bench. He's got to serve that 5-minute major, so they're going to be short no matter how many goals BU could score.
As they start up ice, Legault drives it in. Amante is on it with McEachern. And now Joe Sacco drops it to Stefanelli. Will drive it around the dasher. Legault is there. Now McEachern sweeps it to Amante. Robitaille tries to get there but can't. Now it'll come back to McEachern, but Legault will fire it around the dasher once more. Scremin working hard to clear that puck. Can't do it. Legault continues to fight with Robitaille for it. It is Sacco driving it to the corner. Maine working hard. Puck loose in front. Amante sweeps and turns. Stopped by Del Judas. It's behind the net. McEachern is down. Lalonde and he go after it. Lalonde would like to tie that thing up, but the referee will not do it. The puck finally winds up underneath Legault, and now they're going to get called for a hand pass, and that's a big break for the Bears. Faceoff will come outside the zone.
A lot of people ask the question, why is 5-minute major? Why not just a 2-minute high sticking? It's a decision call on the ref, and it's a severity. You know, if Randy Olsen maybe looked like he tried hitting a guy in the head with his stick or something, he's going to give him a 5-minute major.
And the other thing that Sullivan mentioned to Rich Kimball in between periods is that he thought maybe the linesman saw it and explained that situation. The linesman can go to the referee and call a penalty.
If a linesman sees a violent act like that or a penalty that should be called, he can tell the ref, and the ref will make that call.
And so there are 50 seconds left on that Olsen major penalty, and the Bears will have killed it off. Del Judas sweeps it around the dasher. Barclay clears the zone. Sulphi intercepts, continuing to forecheck hard with Barclay, but the Terriers come back. This is Ed Ronan, number 10. He'll drop it to Sullivan. Ronan is on it. Back to the point it'll come. Ahola tees it up and fires it around the dasher. Now Mike Sullivan, the captain, moves in deep. Behind the net, Tomlinson trying to center it, but it winds up all the way down in the BU territory. Now just 8 seconds left on that penalty to Olsen, and the Bears will have successfully killed off the major, and in fact they have done it now. And listen to the applause from the Alphon crowd. 3-1, the Bears have the lead, and it is back 5-on-5 finally. Olsen moves in, tries to go around one man, goes to the corner and takes an elbow. On it now is Braunscheidel for the BU Terriers. He'll send it to center ice, and on it now is Amante. Goes around Scremin, swept in front, but Scremin does a nice job to get back there and float it out of there. Cashman comes way out of the net and holds on, and he'll sweep it ahead to Amante, and we've got the whistle for the hand pass. And at that point, Cashman was willing to take that.
It's a coach's nightmare when they see those goaltenders come all the way out of the net like that. If by chance Scott Pellerin pokes that puck loose, he's in all alone.
Scott Cashman, twice an MVP, a team MVP in junior hockey. As we mentioned before, he'll be 21 this fall, so he has seen a lot of hockey action, and he is a good one.
Mike Sullivan speaking so highly of him. As a freshman, he must be doing a heck of a job both on and off the ice.
And speaking of freshmen and young players, look at those stats on the Maine players. If you think the near future looks bright for the Bears, indeed, with 82% of the scoring this year coming from freshmen and sophomores, my lord, that's quite a stat. Murphy blocked down in front. Belfay is on it for the Bears, and Sulfy knocks it back in. Belfay goes down, takes a man with him. The Terriers will take over. We've played 4 minutes here in period 2. The Bears with a 3-1 lead over BU. In comes McEachern, but that's an offside play. BU with a record of 18-11-2. The Bears with a record of 27-8-2. And as BU Terriers fight for playoff position with the Maine Black Bears, Jack Parker knows that the difference between second and third place could be a big difference. All right, Carney is on it for Maine. Straub ahead. It'll go to David Lacouture, who'll move in, go down on the play, sweeps it in front. Cashman winds up behind the net. The net is open for the moment. Tepper with Lacouture and Macera out there now. Tepper pins a man to the boards. Believe me, Tepper can pin a man to the boards as big as he is. Lacouture drives a man there too. Tepper continues to work hard with Ronan now. Von Stefanelli joins the fray, and finally Ronan squirts it free. Now here comes BU. Rob Regan moves in. He partially fans on the shot, and it never really got off any great steam to the shot, and back breaks Brian Straub for Maine. Now Macera to Robitaille. In front, Macera has a jump over his stick. The puck is loose in front, and it finally winds up behind Cashman, where Ronan clears it to the dasher. Now Carney in, stopped by Cashman with the glove, and he'll hold on. It's 3-1, the Bears over the Terriers, and we're coming back to Alphon after this.
Hi, I'm Steve Reynolds of Steve Reynolds Subaru. I have just made a special purchase of 1990 Subaru Loyale sedans. These four-door executive cars have automatic transmission, air conditioning, and low mileage. I have them priced out at only $99.99, which is $2,500 below the new asking price. But don't wait, I have only 12 in stock. See me, Portland's own Mr. Easy at Steve Reynolds Subaru, Riverside Street, near Exit 8, Portland, where the owner is in the store.
All right, back at Alfond Arena, I'm Dale Duff, along with former Maine defenseman and pro hockey player Scott Smith, live from Alfond Arena, where the Bears have a 3-1 lead. Montgomery working hard behind the net with Downey and Robitaille. Finally, it's ridden out of there by BU, but a penalty coming up on the Terriers. It's going to be Mark Bavis.
Mark Bavis is going to go off. He knocked Martin Robitaille down in front, and Martin was just kind of standing there. You can see first he whacks his stick out of his hand. Got his stick between his legs. Martin's all tied up. He doesn't know what's going on right now. He just wants to get out of there. Boom, he's off for 2 minutes.
And as we've said time and time again with Robitaille, he takes a licking and keeps on ticking, right? He's a battler, and Davis will go off. He's a freshman from Massachusetts. His twin brother Mike plays on that same fourth line for the Terriers, but he'll sit in the box for the next 2 minutes. And let's see if the Bears can make this a 3-goal game. Montgomery is out there with Robitaille and Downey. Straub and Scremin will play defense. Back it'll come to Scremin. He one-times it in front. Cashman will hold on. Had to be quick there.
That's a smart play, you know. Claudio sees some action in front. Scott Pellerin and Brian Downey are in front, and he's just going to put the puck right on net. Scott Cashman's had a lot of action tonight, and he's going to just throw it on net and hope for a rebound. Big key right here. Look at the work on that face-off. Great face-off intensity by Maine tonight, as he won 17 face-offs, and that's going to help you out in the long run.
This time the Terriers clear it down the ice. Now Pellerin is out there with Montgomery, and Downey. Olson is out there as well. Here comes Randy, owner of Bright White Cleaning Company in Saskatchewan. Scremin down on the play. Straub tried to keep it in, and out breaks Regan. In he'll come against Del Judas. Stopped by Del Judas smartly. On the shorthanded play, the BU Terriers were threatening. Back comes Robitaille. Downey can't quite get that pass. Now Montgomery and Olson. Back it'll come to Carney. Now Olson trying to make a spin move. He's hauled down. Carney at the blue line. Waits for his opportunity. Instead gives it up to Straub. In deep it'll come to Downey. Montgomery is back there now fighting hard. He goes down on the play. Montgomery and Downey and Olson tying their men up behind the net. Back it'll come. Olson into the corner again. Montgomery backhands it to Olson. Tried to get it back to Downey, but can't quite connect. Now the puck squirts free in front. Montgomery took a whack at it like a baseball bat there for a moment, but couldn't get any stick on it. Penalty is almost over. 20 seconds left on that BU penalty.
Maine wanted to get this unit out there, but they just couldn't get a change.
Now Roy has Robitaille with him. Here comes Martin. His shot is stopped by Cashman in the chest, but it's kept in by Burke. They'll fire it in deep. Carney working against the boards. Now Robitaille gets the puck free. Roy in front. There's Pellerin stopped down, and he goes down to the ice, and the Terriers break out. McEachern comes up the left side, puts himself offside though. He's saying, how can I do that? Oh.
Mark Davis was breaking up the right side, and McEachern is a little upset with himself. He made a little extra move at the blue line where he really didn't have to, and he pulled Mark Barvis off sides.
But your point about the Maine power play.
See a nice play by Brian Straub. He didn't take a penalty. He could have very easily just tackled that man and saved the shot on net and took a penalty, but instead he knew Matty had good concentration on the puck, and he read the play very well.
All right, the penalty is over and is back 5-on-5 now as Maine breaks in. Barkley couldn't get it on net, ridden off the play by Brownscheidel. Intercepted now by Belfay. Back it comes to Southby from point-blank range. His shot is hung on to by Scott Castor.
You know, people say, how can Maine play so well? It looks like they're just bing, bang, boom, it's, you know, it's on net. They're just playing simple hockey. They're moving the puck to the open man, taking shots like Kent there, right on net, and, you know, they're doing the simple things, and that's what they have to continue to do right into the playoffs.
I don't know about you, but it's so much more enjoyable to watch a game like this than to watch a Northeastern clutch and grab style, huh? This is end-to-end action. It's just great to see. I enjoy Northeastern in some respects, in the sense that you know it's always going to be a close game, but now, as we're going to have a penalty on Maine away from the action, Steve Tepper is getting whistled off.
Well, Tep picked up his man, and he just put the stick on him and pulled him down a little bit. Big, strong forward like that, he probably loses the thought of his own strength sometimes and just overreacts a little bit.
Scott King gets a nice look at the ice. Well, we're getting some word from the bench that he might be in, and I kind of wondered about that in the last regular season game. The word is that he may come in at the halfway mark of this game, which would be in another 1 minute and 52 seconds. I wouldn't be surprised. All right, here's other action from Hockey East. The Friars leading Merrimack 2-1. That's not a big surprise. Providence probably is going to finish in 4th place in Hockey East. Most likely will take on Northeastern as the 4-5 bracket in the playoffs next week. That'll be a battle, too. All right, BU on the power play. Von Stefanelli does a good job to keep it in. McEachern now with Amante. Nice job by Robitaille to stick that one and get it outside the zone. He's chasing Legault, and look at him check. Now Joe Sacco connects with Amante, and Tony moves in the right side. Lalonde on him. Amante moves in, and it never really gets the shot on, I don't think, because he was ridden away from the net. Now Maine sweeps it out of there. Roy does that chore. A minute now left in the penalty to Tepper. It's 3-1. The Bears over the BU Terriers. We're almost halfway through the game. Burke is on it first for the Bears. Around the dasher. Roy tries to move it out, but can't. Burke does. Now in breaks BU's Rob Regan on with Tomlinson. To the corner he goes. Scremin continues to work hard. Boy, he works hard all the time. Burke joins in the fray. Now on it for BU is Ed Ronan. Now Tomlinson. BU on the power play. Bears making him work hard. In front, Regan tries to move a backhander. Never reaches Del Judas. Smart play by the Bears defense to prevent that from happening. Now Tomlinson has it jump over a stick, and Burke will send it around the dasher and out.
Claudio Scremin trying to get to the bench. He was on for that full 2 minutes of killing, and as any player will mention, 2 minutes of hockey like this, you're going to be exhausted.
The penalty to Tepper is over, and it's an icing call on BU. And let's keep an eye on Scott King now, and he is going to come in. And let's hear the applause.
You know, Sean may be thinking, heck, I got playoffs coming up. Scotty hasn't played in a week. I don't want to go into playoffs with him not getting any action.
And there you see his numbers, and they are impressive indeed. When he leaves Alfond Arena at the end of the playoffs, he'll be walking away with every goaltending record in the Maine books.
We're going to see what the Maine defensemen are doing well tonight. They're not letting anyone get to Matt Del Judas. Claudio Scremin just levels Amante trying to get to the net, and he never gets his shot off. They're forcing the players, BU players, to the outside, and they're really not giving them a good scoring angle.
And Amante paid for that one. All right, on the draw, Maine will fire it in around the dasher. Straub does that job. Lacouture is on it for Maine. Drops it. Now Massera in front. He'll get stopped by the glove, I think, of Cashman. And it skips to center ice where Kosamaki tries to go after it for BU. Carney rides him off. Now Straub. Bavis move heavy to the boards. Carney wins that little battle, and now Straub trying to ride it out of there. Mike Bavis sweeps it to center ice. And here comes Maine. Lacouture on it. They'll just knock it in, but it hits the linesman and never goes in the zone. 2 players go down. The action is heavy in front of that penalty box area. Now O'Sullivan on it for BU. They have a Kevin O'Sullivan and a David Sullivan. Now the Terriers break back. This is Mark Bavis, and the Terriers make wholesale changes. All 5 players go off at once. Amante ridden into the boards by Montgomery, and Murphy goes back after it. Intercepted by Amante. His shot on by is stopped, but we'll have a whistle on the play, and as the net comes off its mooring, we'll take a break in the action. The score, Maine 3 and Boston University 1.
Once again this year, the real estate specialists of ERA will sell more homes than anyone else in Maine. We'll do it with more offices in every part of the state, with services like the ERA Home Protection Plan, which protects major built-in home appliances. That will help your home sell faster for a better price. So when you need real estate services, remember the name the people of Maine made #1, ERA. Each office independently owned and operated.
Well, Scott King has entered the game, and you see what he has done in his career. Look at that winning percentage. It's even better than that at home. 41-5-3 at home. How about that? He's only lost 5 times in his career here at Alpine. And so he comes in at the halfway mark with the score 3-1. And he'll hold that one for another faceoff. The one thing that Scott doesn't have, and he won't get again tonight, is a shutout. He'll have every record there is, but a goalie as good as him, and that just shows you, I guess, how I don't know, lucky or whatever, how everything has to bounce right on a particular night to get a shutout, huh?
Very difficult to get.
Maine wins another draw. This time Barkley does the trick, and Belfay trying to clear it out through the zone. Scremin is there. He's seen a lot of ice time tonight, Claudio. Now McEachern with it, with Sacco and Amante. This is their #1 line, so you've got to watch out for them. Sean McEachern moves in against Barkley, still with the puck, centers it in front. The puck goes outside the zone, but the net leaves the mooring again, and so we'll see the face-off. And away from the action, we've got some pushing and shoving between Amante and Barkley. Let's see if we have any penalty calls. No, I guess we're not going to.
Trailer fixing the net, and really didn't see much activity out there.
I think if he did see that, I think he would have called some penalties, probably some matching penalties, because there was some action heavy there. All right, now they're trying to decide where to hold the face-off, who knocked the net off the mooring, and I think they're going to say Maine did it, because the face-off's coming in the zone. Drew Taylor, tonight's referee, done a nice job to keep things in control here.
So far. A lot of hockey left.
All right, behind the net, the Bears will start it out now. Pellerin has got Olsen flying up the left side. Can't quite connect with that. And that'll be icing on Maine. Looked good for a moment, but Olsen just couldn't catch up to that puck. 7:41 now left in the second period. We've had no scoring in the second period. The Bears lit it up 3 times, though, and have a 3-1 lead.
Another big crowd here tonight for the measles.
Yeah. Now, what is it? 82, I think, sellouts, at least in terms of tickets sold. And
Not to mention the storm.
Yeah, that was a bad storm out there today, wasn't it? But people know that this is the season finale, the regular season finale, and the hockey fans here are very, very loyal, and they want to see the seniors one last time. They'll see them again next weekend. This is the ceremonial last night of the regular season. Maine already knows that they will host somebody next weekend in a best 2 out of 3 series. Will it be Lowell? Will it be New Hampshire? And there's a slight possibility it could be Northeastern. Now Kearney in front, blocked down there. Cashman is out of the net. Kearney still has the puck. 2 BU players are down. Kearney plays with the puck and tried to center it, but it's ridden out of there by BU. Back comes Tomlinson, chasing after it, puts on the brakes smartly. Now sends it in deep. It'll come to Chris. His shot goes wide, but Tomlinson is there. He'll center in front. There's Sullivan taking a whack at it. King goes down. Here's Chris teeing it up again. It's deflected wide. Legault is on it now, and the Bears finally get some breathing space. But Tomlinson does a nice job to keep it in. There's Ronan in front. Here comes Chris driving through the slot, but can't get the stick on it. Pellerin doesn't have a stick. He's must be broken, obviously. He stays out there, and Kearney is on it. Maine would just like to get this thing iced or out of the zone, and finally Olsen will. Now Pellerin goes back and gets his stick. Now Murphy moves in to keep it in the zone. Downey goes to the corner, gives Chris a smash, and Montgomery is there. Chris goes down on a second hit from Downey. And out breaks BU. McDonald moves in, but that's an offside play, says the linesman.
Maine have a little bit of trouble getting out of their own end. Around the 10-minute mark here for the last 5 minutes. BU has turned it up a little bit. Turned up the pressure. We can see Scotty getting right into it. Hasn't had many shots, and he's getting enough right here. A lot of action in front of him. Scott Pellerin is, what should I do here?
Now Downey is on it. Through center ice, he'll come against Foster. He'll tee it up, and it's stopped by Cashman with the glove, and he's furious, and I think he's furious at his own players.
Brian Downey, he sees Cashman leaning to the right, and he tries going back to the left-hand side, and Scott Cashman with a nice save. Once a goaltender starts moving, that's the forwards, the light comes on, time to shoot, because especially when they're moving, they really can't move their feet to stop a puck. They're too concentrated on skating or trying to get in better position.
Well, the Bears would like to get back into the NCAA's Final Four again. This year it's called the Road to the Joe. The Joe Louis Arena in Detroit is this year's Final Four venue. We'll see what happens in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Shot in front. Cashman's puck still loose. It's underneath him now, and he'll hold on. As Scremin just fired it on net, and then just we'll see what happens. It almost went through.
Scott Cashman isn't getting much help from his defense or his forwards in the low slot area. We can see the shot come in from the point, and that's when all the confusion starts. Let's take a look here. Another good save. That shot was tipped, and Ken Solfly tried to sneak it in the side. Scott Cashman, very impressive.
It's 3-1, Maine over BU. 5.5 minutes left in this second period of play. Jack Parker, the BU coach, giving some instructions, and there's a shot fired on by Scremin again that goes wide. Lalonde does a nice job to keep it in, though, and Tomlinson is on it for BU. He'll headman the puck to Mark Bavis. He'll break out with his twin brother, identical twin brother. Stopped by King. Bavis will fire it in, but it winds up right into his bench. And they're going to wave the white flag over there. Look at the backup goalie, John Bradley, number 30, and their trainers and equipment people.
Everybody heading for the hills.
Distinguished career for Jack Parker. He's a former BU player, and His team won the Beanpot a couple of weeks ago, and boy, they really smoked Harvard, didn't they, in that Beanpot championship game? 8-2, I think.
Yeah.
And now both teams kind of playing a little game of cat and mouse to see who goes out there.
Maine has the last change, and Jack Parker tried sneaking another line out to watch his Olsen, Pellerin, Roy line, and Drew Taylor wouldn't let him get back on that bench.
Now Roy moves in, bouncing puck, stops, shoots, and it goes wide. Oh, he's so tricky with that puck. Behind the net, Olsen has it jump over his stick. Legault is on it for BU. Fans on the pass, though. Kept in nicely by Lalonde, but BU is back on it. Phil Von Stefanelli to Alex Legault, and he'll move it in, make Scott King play it. 4.5 minutes now left in this second period. Bears having trouble getting out through their zone. Finally, Scremin just flips it through center ice. Pellerin has the bouncing puck for just a split second, but BU rides it out of there. McEachern with Sacco, but that's an offside play. We'll take a break in the action. It's Maine 3, BU 1. And we'll come back after this timeout. Kaminski, Kasamäki from Finland, from Helsinki on that draw. I just wanted to say his name, his full name once, and I knew that was the only time I'd get a chance to do it.
It's a mouthful.
Holy smokes. All right, ground Scheidel on it for a moment for BU, but Robitaille moves it in deep. Cashman plays it to the corner. Robitaille is there, trying to center it to Downey. The puck is bouncing. Downey is on it. He'll sweep at it. He had his stick lifted, though. Montgomery does a nice job to keep it in. Now Brian Downey and Montgomery ridden to the boards by Kasamäki, but Robitaille is there. Trying to get it back to the point, but Brown Scheidel ties him up, and the Terriers clear the zone. Now they try to catch him on a line change, and here comes Maine. Sofly moving in. He'll shoot it, and it's stopped by Cashman, and it'll wind up in the net up over the screen behind Cashman.
Scott King made that play happen. Boy, he comes right out of the net, moves the puck right up to Keith Carney, and slides over to Ken Sulfy, and just lets a blast go. He had Mike Barkley breaking down the left side, and he opted to shoot. Mike Barkley, you'll see him coming in the screen there looking for a rebound, and it just didn't happen for him.
Sulfy has one goal on the night. Looking for number 2 there. Now Sean Wall sends out a line of Lacouture, Tepper, and Becerra.
Dave Lacouture, we haven't seen him too much this year, and he's a real good defensive forward, and Sean likes him because he likes to hit, and he can do the job, and he won't hurt you defensively.
He's a redshirt freshman from Massachusetts.
Natick, Massachusetts, the home of John Baker. Some fans may remember him.
Yes, Baker.
John Baker.
Well, coming up in between periods, we're going to have a talk with Claudio Scremin, one of the co-captains, one of the senior players that was honored tonight. And also, we're going to have a look back at the 1980 Olympics. And we're going to talk to Jack Parker, the BU coach, because he coached some of those Olympians by the name of Aruzioni and Craig. Remember those guys? Now Ronan breaks in, centers it to Tomlinson, but Tepper tied him up for a moment. Penalty coming up on Tepper. He tied him up too much. Penalty coming on Steve Tepper, and now I take that back. Yes. Well, wait a minute.
Dave Tomlinson's going off for holding.
They're calling it on BU.
We'll see it come into the side there, and he must have grabbed a hold of him a little bit. Yeah.
Well, that was away from the action because
you make the call.
Yeah. Oh, look at Parker.
You can't believe it.
There's a brief editorial comment by Jack Parker. Uh-oh, penalty coming up on Parker. Bench penalty coming up on Parker. Right there, you saw it. And Drew Taylor says, I'm not taking that. And now the Bears will be on a two-man advantage.
Great opportunity.
Wow.
Jack Parker giving Drew Taylor a little advice, and must have been spiced up a little bit. Steve Tepper knows he got away with one there. I have to give that one to Steve Tepper.
But it was Tomlinson away from the action that got the penalty call. That got Jack Parker riled up, and he is still jawing. He is still jawing over there with Drew Taylor. And he is really furious. And he's going to pay for it. So it'll be a bench penalty. Bench penalty on Parker.
The guys out in the truck are loving that one. Jack Parker penalty.
Look at him go. Oh boy, he is not going to let the referee. And Koskin Mackey will serve the penalty, the bench penalty.
Here on top of our screen to the right, you'll see what all the grief's about. Looked like he was holding Tepper's stick, and that's what Taylor saw, and he made the call.
So the Bears with a 5-on-3 advantage. Cashman will hold on to the puck and get a face-off, and this is a golden opportunity for the Bears. And Scott Cashman knows that he's got to come up big for the next couple of minutes and hold this thing at 2. So Tomlinson is off for holding, and the bench penalty against BU makes it a two-man advantage, and Sean Wall sends out Montgomery, Pellerin, Olson, Robitaille, and Carney. That's a lot of offense.
You'll see Maine here make a lot of passes and not take the long shots. They want to work and get a good shot on net and not just give Scott Cashman a lot of confidence builder. So I see him moving the puck quite a bit here.
All right, 5-on-3. Let's see what happens. Carney to Montgomery. Now Carney and Montgomery again. Now it's Robitaille, but there won't be a goal on that play. A Maine player was in the crease. The whistle blew long before the shot went off. Not long before, but at least a split second, and so the faceoff will come outside the zone.
Says Randy Olson was in the slot area. Here we can see it off to the right side of the net. Come in the back door. He must just get a foot over that crease line, and Taylor's going to help BU out a little bit and give him a man in the crease.
Same 5 Maine players out there. Robitaille against Von Stefanelli, but Stefanelli gives him a really heavy whack with the stick. Now it is Carney moving in. Robitaille, Carney. There's Robitaille's one-time shot that goes wide. Montgomery is there now. Carney moves in. Robitaille again. In front, Carney. Stopped by Cashman, and he holds on.
He's going to want another chance at that one. He kind of fanned on that quick wrist shot. All kinds of time to pick any corner he wanted on Scott Cashman.
Now, this is a key moment in this game. If Maine can score here and go up by 3 goals, that tells you one thing. But if BU kills off this two-man advantage, you've got to think that momentum might shift their way. If you're looking at who might be scoring goals on the advantage, well, Pellerin leads the way, but Robitaille, Roy, and Montgomery are close behind.
You'll see BU when Maine starts moving the puck around the high slot area. BU will form a triangle right in the high slot, or right in the low slot, excuse me, and hopefully just block down passes, let Scott Cashman take the outside shots, and not let Maine pass the puck through the diamond.
All right, well, so how important is this time period? Well, someone has called a timeout. Was it Maine or BU? BU called the timeout. At this stage, you get 1 timeout per game, and Jack Parker says this is the time to take it. 1 minute and 2 seconds left on the 2-man advantage for Maine.
Jack Parker's probably telling him to keep that nice tight triangle right in the low slot. Let Scotty take, Scott Cashman take the outside shots, and we'll just take it from there.
Well, we want to remind you, more great Maine Black Bear action coming your way tomorrow afternoon, as Maine will take on the BU Terriers in men's basketball live from the Bangor Auditorium. It's tomorrow afternoon at 2. Now remember, Maine beat BU down in Boston earlier in the week in overtime, and so it ought to be a good one. And we also want to remind you that the Maine women beat the BU women down in Boston today. Steph, as Rachel Bouchard, I believe, scored 30 points in that ball game. And so Maine's women's team wins the North Atlantic Conference regular season title.
Here you can see on this last scramble, Keith Carney's the main man. He sets everything up. Him and Martin Robitaille work it back and forth. Martin just nice little give and go. And Keith, you can't see Keith there, but he just takes a wrist shot and kind of fans on a little bit. Then, of course, you're going to get a little extra activity there. No one likes Maine players around their goaltenders.
So Jack Parker sends out Ahola, McEachern, and Chris to kill this penalty. Maine has Robitaille, Roy, Pellerin, Carney, and Robitaille.
BU does not want Maine to pass the puck through the triangle or through the slot area.
This is Montgomery. There's a one-timer in front, stopped by Cashman. There's another shot by Pellerin, but somehow Cashman holds on to that puck.
Scott Pellerin gets a couple whacks in there. He's a very strong player.
This play takes 10 seconds.
Robitaille down to Olsen and Scotty Pellerin in great position. Scott Cashman has a little bit of a hard time there getting control of that puck, and you can't be lackadaisical in front like that with Scott Pellerin standing around, because right there you'll see 19 goals. He can put them in.
Roy gets a handle to the puck and gets it to Carney. He'll move in. Now Montgomery. There's a shot that goes high and wide. It's behind the net. Maine controls. 5-on-3 advantage. Montgomery in front. Score! Martin Robitaille.
Johnny Roy, nice pass right across the crease area to Martin Robitaille. Scotty Cashman should have tried blocking that. He didn't even make an attempt, and Martin Robitaille had an empty net. Straight across Martin, empty net goal.
You know what I'm wondering, did it ever reach Robitaille's stick? Let's look at it from this angle.
See, nice pass down and just a one-time pass right across the crease.
Yeah.
And Martin just banks it in.
I thought it might have hit the blade of the goalie maybe and never reached Robitaille's, but
a lot of confusion down in front.
And that gets one BU player back, but there is still a one-man advantage for Maine for the next half a minute or so. The Bears have some breathing space now. It's a 4-1 advantage. Montgomery skates up the left side. Around the dasher it'll go. Randy Olsen is on it. Against Tomlinson, he'll move it ahead deep into the corner, reverses his direction, and now it is Straub. Bryan will fire it, knocked down in front. To the corner goes Maine. Montgomery takes a slash at it, but never got any stick on the puck, and back comes BU. Kosamaki moves in deep against Scremin, and Scremin fires it outside the zone. We're under a minute now left in this second period of play. The Bears have a 4-1 lead. Penalties are over now to BU. It's 5-on-5. So the Bears get one score on the 5-on-3 advantage. A half a minute left in this second period. Belfay sends a man to the ice. On it is Olsen, and he'll drive it in, but that's a offside play.
From our vantage point, you can hear Sean Walsh when they're ever playing around the blue line, especially with a minute left in the period. He's saying, get the puck deep, keep it deep. They don't want to have any turnovers at that blue line. They want to keep the puck down and let the BU defenseman deal with it and get a forecheck going. They don't want to have a turnover right there because good transition team like BU can make that turnover turn into a 3-on-1, 2-on-1, and great scoring opportunity. Smart play by Brian Belfay to get that puck deep.
From center ice, Jim Burke just wanted to fire it in the zone, but he flipped it so high it wound up in the net behind the goal, and so the faceoff will come back. Good look at number 26, Kent Sophie, the freshman from New York, from Maine, out there with Belfay and Barkley. They have the chore of taking on BU's number 1 line tonight. McEachern, broken up smartly by Jim Burke. Legault fires it back in. King will stop that easily and clear the zone. Von Stefanelli makes a spin move. Amante will touch the puck as the period comes to an end. And away from the action, we're going to have some more tempers flaring as McEachern is going after. And now here's Jack Parker, and he wants a word with Drew Taylor. Let's see what happens here. Well, he'd better be careful here. And Jack Parker says his piece and walks off. And he's not walking off the ice a happy man. His team trails 4-1. The Bears in control after 2 periods with a 4-1 lead. And we'll come back for our intermission after this timeout.
Come on over and test drive our selection of Dodge trucks, and we'll pay you $50 for doing so at Crazy Eddie's Rochester Dodge. Test drive a 1990 Dakota 4-wheel drive equipped with V6 engine, automatic transmission, and more with $1,500 rebate, only $12,995. Or test drive a 1990 G150 2-wheel drive pickup featuring automatic transmission, an 8-foot cargo bed with $2,000 rebate, only $10,595. These super deals available at Crazy Eddie's Rochester Dodge, Route 11 West in Rochester.
Mercury Toyota Dodge. Crazy Eddie's. We got it all.
Reynolds Honda offering incredible values on held-over motorcycles. With Honda's factory-to-dealer incentives, Reynolds can save you $2,700 on this beautiful Pacific Coast, now only $49.99. Save $1,000 on this exciting Transalp, now just $34.95. 9.9% financing is also available, but this is a limited-time offer. Reynolds Sports Center has similar savings on other selected non-current Hondas, but supply is limited, so get yours on spring layaway today. Reynolds is on Route 202, 4 miles west of Gorham. Honda, come ride with us.
You know, it happened right here 20 years ago.
I'd like to buy the world a home and furnish it with love. I'd like to teach the world to come. Can't beat the feeling. Can't top it. Can't stop it. Feeling you get from a Coca-Cola Classic. Can't beat the feeling. Can't beat the real thing.
Representing the Brunswick Band area tonight from Pablo.
After 2 periods at the Alfond Arena, the regular season finale for the Maine Black Bears, and they lead it by a score of 4-1. Maine with a 3-1 lead after a period, and adding to it in number 2, and the Black Bears trying to secure 2nd place in the Hockey East regular season standings. Things going very well so far for them tonight. It is the last home game of the season, and it was a special night for a lot of the Maine players, the seniors, who were introduced tonight, playing what probably won't be their last game, but certainly their last regular season game here at the Alfond Arena. And among them is Maine's Claudio Screm. And Claudio, that had to feel nice tonight to go out and get that round of applause from the Alfond crowd.
Oh, I know. We appreciate the fans so much here. You know, it's been a great 4 years. I had a great time, and you know, it's kind of sad to see it end. But you know, we appreciate them, and seeing that they appreciate us is really nice.
As you look back, is there one moment that you can pick out of the 4 years here that stands out in your mind more than all the others at the Alphon?
Oh, there's many times, but the really good memory I had when we were playing a game with Minnesota 2 years ago for #1 ranking in the nation, and we had all those white flags going around, and the whole arena was so loud and shaking. That was probably one of the most memorable moments.
You guys, the people in your class have had a great 4 years, especially the last 3 with the 2 Final Four appearances. When you thought about coming to the University of Maine, obviously that had to be a factor. You knew that they had a chance for some success, but did you ever dream that you'd reach the heights this team has reached?
No, I knew when I came here that we had a lot of really good young players like Weinrich, Capuanos, and those kind of players. And I thought I'd come to a team that was emerging into itself and maturing. And I thought we'd be a competitive team, but I didn't think we'd be able to go to the Final Four 2 years in a row. It's just a credit to the hard work and the coaching staff. I think it's just been great for myself.
All right, what about tonight's game? You've had good success here at the Alphon against Boston University. This year you've had 2 3-2 games with them. It seems it's always been a close battle, but tonight you guys have controlled things through the first 2 periods.
Oh, we just went out working hard. That the game against Boston College, where we had hopes to maybe clinch first place, but that really got us down. But a lot of the players, it's the last league game for the seniors at Alphon, and I think a lot of our players are working hard for us, and the seniors are working hard, and they just want to make a good farewell for the seniors.
All right, what about your future plans now? You were drafted by the Capitals. As you look ahead to next year, what do you expect to happen? What do you hope will happen?
Well, I got drafted by the Capitals, but I got traded about beginning of last year. So I'm with Minnesota now, and I think they might be interested in me. I'm not talking too much with them. I'm just hoping to graduate and just finish off a great career here at Maine.
All right, Claudia, you've been a great asset to the team, and we wish you lots of success next year, but we've got lots to do between now and then. Hope things go very well for you in the Hockey East playoffs and on to the NCAAs.
All right, thank you very much.
Claudio Scremin, senior of the Maine Black Bears. They lead after 2 periods, 4-1. We'll come back with more in just a moment.
Mother Nature has added another 8 inches of snow to our base this past weekend. This is a year for snow at Sugarloaf, USA, and over 13 feet has already fallen on Maine's largest ski mountain. This February 18th video shows how great the skiing is. Sugarloaf has received 4 feet of snow in February alone. When there's this much snow and the skiing is so great, the place to ski is Sugarloaf, USA, where you can experience Maine's only big mountain skiing with lots of snow and still room to turn.
The invoice sale continues at Goodwin's Chevrolet.
Frank, that's another one of our competitors telling us we cannot possibly continue this invoice sale any longer.
Dave, they're right. We can't sell cars at invoice forever.
Due to tremendous response, this sale has been extended to February 28th.
That's a fantastic idea because the public has really been buying our cars and trucks at tremendous savings so far.
Why don't you come into Goodwin's during the invoice sale and save?
Goodwin's Chevrolet, Brunswick.
Stand by.
4-1 after 2 periods. Maine leading Boston University here at the Alphon Arena. The regular season finale. The Bears trying to wrap up 2nd place in the Hockey East standings. It's been an exciting couple of years to watch Maine go to the NCAA finals. Hockey has provided some great thrills over the last 10 years, and it's hard to believe that it was 10 years ago this week that the Olympic hockey team captured the gold medal in that tremendous Olympic Games out in Lake Placid. Herb Brooks' squad won it all, surprised the world by winning the gold, and not only was it a great moment for hockey fans, but for New England, because there was a real New England flavor to that team. Several players from the Boston area were members of that 1980 Olympic team, including Micah Ruzioni and goalie Jim Craig. Let's go back 10 years tonight and remember that miracle on ice.
To the gold medal, forward to the gold medal. This impossible dream
the captain, the goalie, the miracle. The captain had scored the game-winning goal against the mighty Soviets. It was the shot heard round the world. The goalie had played magnificently throughout, with the win over Finland completing the miracle on ice. Or was it?
If you feel it was a miracle, that's fine. That's great for you. As a player, I never looked at it as that. A miracle would be if the good Lord walked in, sat down here, that's a miracle.
One of the jokes that always comes up is, boy, wouldn't it have been great if we could have been a franchise, just gone out of the Olympics and been a franchise. And you know we would have needed certain aspects of our game to improve, but I think we could have been a pretty good team.
10 years have passed. The goalie is now an account executive in Brockton. The captain is settled in his old neighborhood in Winthrop. Children are everywhere. And so are reminders of a magical 2 weeks in Lake Placid 10 winters ago.
I went to Lake Placid to win a gold medal and try to be a part of a great team and have a great time. And didn't realize what was going to happen after. I had no plans for if we won what I was going to do because nobody expected anything to happen.
What happened was America won the gold, and what followed were weeks and months of adulation, adoration. There were parades, rallies, a visit to the White House, relentless media attention everywhere they went, duly recording everything they did.
In goal, in his first professional game, our own Olympic flame, Jim Craig.
Of all the Olympians, the goalie provided the unforgettable image of the games, draped in the flag, searching the crowd for his father. But for Jim Craig, the descent from the mountaintop was difficult. An intensely scrutinized pro career lasted just 2 seasons. In 1982, he was involved in a car accident which claimed the life of a young woman. 2 years ago, his father passed away. But in the end, colored Jim Craig a success.
I'm really happy with the way my life is now. I love to be able to see all the guys I grew up with, go home and see my son, you know, see my wife, and kind of just go about the everyday deal.
Life goes on, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
The captain and the goalie. Mike Eruzione spreads the Olympic gospel for a living, and it continues to be the good news of pride and patriotism and a magnificent achievement on ice.
A snotty-nosed kid who broke your window with a baseball, who was always playing to the, in front of the street lamp. That was him. That was the kid on that hockey team. That's who we were.
10 years ago tonight, the U.S. Olympic team captured the gold medal at Lake Placid, and coincidentally, it was 20 years before that when they won the 1960 gold as well. After 2 periods here at the Alfond Arena, Maine leads 4-1. We're back with the final 20 minutes right after this.
I told Jan I was going car shopping. She warned me, be careful of those high-pressure salesmen. She just doesn't know Bates and Cunningham. We've always done business there. She knows Volvo's reputation for safety and reliability. Shopping at Bates and Cunningham Volvo is like visiting an old friend. Never any high-pressure sale tactics. Now, Jan wants a Volvo from them, too.
Keep that Bates and Cunningham tradition going in your family.
Where did you say that furniture sale was?
Scandinavia House on the planet Earth.
Scandinavia House is going out of business. A huge inventory of Scandinavian and contemporary furniture must be sold immediately. Save 30 to 70% on living rooms, bedrooms, dining rooms, recliners, and much more. Hurry to Scandinavia House, Forest Ave, Portland, before we close our doors forever.
The best savings in the universe.
No one should have to live like this, but 1 in every 5 Mainers does. For the last 2 weeks, News Center has shown you some of Maine's faces of poverty. Now join me, Dr. Judd, in a live audience as we look at the war on poverty and challenge what remains to be done for the hungry, the homeless, the elderly, and the forgotten children of Maine. Watch this live 2-hour program. The Faces of Poverty Talk Back with Dr. Judd. A Family Matters primetime special Friday night at 8, only on 6 Alive.
4-1 the score. The Bears with the lead after the first 40 minutes of action, and the Bears have to feel comfortable after that 5-on-3 power play goal, and that was just what the doctor ordered under those circumstances.
Well, Jack Parker was a little upset with that call, and it turned out he had a good reason to be upset. They scored a goal, and it was a big goal at that. So,
well, let's take a look at some of the action, and here it is. You can see beautiful power play.
This puck starts from behind the net, and they're moving around great. They give it to their quarterback, as I like to call him, Keith Carney. He can move the puck so well. Very good laterally with the puck. And what they're trying to do is set the two players off to the side open, and in this case it was Jean-Yves Roy over to Martin and in the net. They want to keep the men, there's 3 forwards down low, 1 man in front and 2 forwards off to the side of the net. And you can see here that that opens up the right across the crease area. Starts from behind, they move it right around. Scott Pellerin, he's very important. He's right in front trying to screen the goalie in case he decided to take a shot. But the puck goes down low and boom, right straight across. Martin Robitaille with an empty net goal. And that's a 5-on-3. You can't work it much better than that.
And that's one of those times when you'd like to be able to give out another assist, because certainly another assist was deserved there, but you only give two along the way. And so that gave the Bears a 4-1 lead, and it was by Robitaille, his 14th goal of the year. Ruaz had a big night as he's had a goal and 2 assists now. Let me just check the scoring here quickly. Like I was going to say, Montgomery had two points tonight, but he's just got the 1. Shots on goal in that second period, Maine doubled them by a 12-6 count. Overall, the scoreboard shows Maine with 26 shots on net and BU with 16. And that's a lot of action.
Well, you know, Scott Cashman gives rebounds. He's a rebound goalie, and he has to depend on his defensemen to clear those rebounds away so Maine can't get those second and third chances in the low slot area.
Well, Maine with 8 quality shots on goal in that second period, and you see some of the other action. Maine continues to do so well on the face-offs, and that's important.
Well, overall tonight, as we've mentioned so many times about this Maine team, Sean has them doing the little things. You know, you win the battles, and you're going to win the war eventually. And they're finishing their checks, and they're winning the face-offs, and guys are picking up, and they're winning the draws. And it's just those are the things that make a team click. And definitely for the first 2 periods, Maine has clicked very well.
And they hold a 4-1 lead as Sean Walsh and company come out on the ice.
That's scary, Dale, walking across the ice like that.
I'll tell you what, I'll tell you something a little scarier is walking across the ice like that with a $25,000 camera on your shoulder. I've done it, and all the other photographers. It's a little scary sometimes. Jack Parker, I don't know, he looks a little calm on the outside, but I'll bet he's burning inside, huh?
He's a very intense individual, and he brings that out in his players. So it's funny, all the hockey's coaches are very intense. You got Jack Riley at Lowell. I mean, they call him a tiger, and you got Jack Parker and Mike McShane down in Providence. And these guys are just, they bring it out in their players so much. We can't say Sean. We can't count Sean out because he tends to get a little excited now and then.
But the thing is, when you look at a Jack Parker and as you mentioned, Mike McShane, you can see the coach, his style in his team, can't you? Every coach right in Hockey East, you can see their style of play.
Well, he's a real personal type of guy, and today I was watching him skate, and after the skate, you know, all the players, they all seem like they act like Jack Parker, you know, real friendly, talking to people, and calling him Jack on a first name basis, which I was kind of surprised of. Most coaches like, you know, Coach Parker or Coach Walsh, but he's got a real good rapport with his players. Sometimes that takes some of the pressure off the game.
And he had a little talk with the referee as he was walking off the second period, only he wasn't saying, how do you do? That's for sure. All right, play underway in period 3. The Bears with a 4-1 lead as they begin play. McEachern starts up the right side, 2-on-1 with Sacco, has the puck loose, and King is down and out of the net, but Barkley is there. He'll flip it ahead, and it goes to center ice. Sacco and McEachern had a 2-on-1 break there for a moment, but the kind of gets caught up into his skates a little bit. McEachern's skates. Now Pellerin for Maine, waits. Roy moves in deep, and he's on the puck now. Pellerin is down on the ice and gets up, gives Ahola a check, and out comes Sullivan. The captain for the BU Terriers is ridden off the play by Lalonde, and they'll have to wind up again. Opening minute here in period 3. Mike Sullivan takes a shot that is way wide. On it, though, is McEachern around the dasher. Behind the net it'll go, and Pellerin will sweep it to center ice. It'll wind up touching a Maine player, and we'll get a whistle.
It's very important that Maine doesn't get away from doing those things that they did the first 40 minutes. Finish checks and help each other out. Because this BU team is very explosive, young and explosive, and they're very intense, as we've mentioned. Have to say hi to some people in Wiscasset tonight. And of course up in Shediac, New Brunswick.
Oh, you name dropper, you.
I know.
Robitaille and Montgomery couldn't break in as the Terriers send it down on King. Knocked down smartly by Rob Regan in front. There's a shot that goes wide by Regan. On it is Kevin O'Sullivan to the boards with Murphy. He'll go. In front now, the puck jumps to Downey. He can't clear the zone. O'Sullivan in front. Regan fans on the shot. Koskamaki moves in, centers the puck. No one home for BU. On it now is Regan in front. King makes it go to the corner. Behind the net, finally, Robitaille is on it for Maine. Montgomery lets it go to center ice. Downey squeezed to the boards hard by O'Sullivan. And now Lacouture moves in, trying to get the puck for Maine, but Kevin O'Sullivan takes over for BU. He takes a heavy hit from Sulfai. And Tepper shoots. It's a save by Cashman with the leg. Tepper continues to work hard. Ahola takes him to the board. Centering pass. Lacouture couldn't get a stick to it. And back comes BU. Rob Regan trying to go around his man Straub, but can't. King will send it to the corner, but Von Stefanelli drives it in. It'll flip into King, and he'll stick it to the other side this time. Now intercepted by Maine. Out breaks John Macera up the left side. He'll fire a weak one on net, and now Maine will change up. 14 is Joe Sacco. He's got a brother who plays on this team, but suffered a knee injury earlier in the year and is out for the year. Dave Sacco. Now Sulfai on it. Cashman comes out to play the puck first, though. Sacco breaks back with Amante and Tomlinson. Sacco moves in. He's due to make a line change as his mates have gone off the ice. Now he's going to try to work his way over. Amante dumps it in, and now they will change up. There's an icing call, and it'll face off and come back down in the BU zone. We have played 3.5 minutes here in this third period, and you see the numbers. When the Bears have the lead after 2 periods, things look oh so good. When BU leads and trails, you see the numbers. They're about the same situation as Maine, really. When you're ahead after 2, you have the confidence, and when you trail after 2, you know you got some catch-up work to do. But we did see a Lake Superior team come back in the third period here against Maine earlier in the year on one of our television games. Cashman makes a sprawling save on that one. Behind the net, Maine continues to work hard. Brownscheidel starts back, and now Tomlinson. Through center ice and over the blue line. He's busting through. There's a shot by Sullivan that goes wide. King got a stick on it, I think. Behind the net, Tomlinson in front, swept away smartly by Brian Straub. Now the Bears will get it over the blue line. Olsen starts up, trying to make a move, goes wide, and then makes a spin move. Open is Pellerin. He one-times it high. A heavy shot from Pellerin that went over Cashman's head. Brownscheidel checked hard to the boards, but the puck goes to Sullivan. Wing to wing, he tries to connect with Ed Ronan, but can't do it. Lalonde is on it for the Bears. BU changes up in a hurry again. Now Montgomery has it jump over his stick, and Stefanelli plays it. Here comes Bavis. Mark and Mike Bavis. There's a shot on by Mike that is stopped by King. And it's played at center ice by Montgomery, who wants to break in. 1-on-3 he goes. Downey joins him, though, but too late, and the puck goes back to center ice. End-to-end action. We've played 5 minutes in this second period. Maine has a 4-1 lead over BU. Now Montgomery winds up again. Ahead to Murphy, who will dump it in, and Cashman will play it. Bavis to Kosamaki. He tries to move around Burke. Burke sends him to the ice. The puck winds up behind the net. Now it's swept away in front again by Burke, who played some pretty good defense there. Kosamaki drives it in for BU, and then that line changes up for Jack Parker. Now here comes Maine. Barkley has Belfay and Sulfy out there, but taken over by Stephen Foster for BU. Now here's Belfay intercepting and taking a shot that is stopped by Cashman. Behind the net, Sulfy works hard with Amante. Joe Sacco takes over for the Terriers. Now Amante. Puck jumps up into the Maine bench and will have a whistle. We'll take a break in the action. It's Maine 4 and BU 1, and we'll return to Alphond after this.
I'm Tom Brokaw. As anchor of NBC Nightly News, I've covered a lot of miles covering dramatic stories around the world, and so has the News Center 6 team. News Center was there when Samantha Smith took her One Girl Peace campaign to Moscow. Richard Rose reported from Shinagawa on Maine's growing trade relationship with Japan. And Bob Elliott took us to a new Germany after the wall. When you need to know, count on News Center 6 and NBC Nightly News only on 6 Alive.
Back at Alphond Arena, Dale Duff and Scott Smith with you as the Bears trying to capture second place in Hockey East. Boston College has already won first place in the regular season. Will it be BU or will it be Maine for second place? Well, right now the Bears have the upper hand. In deep is Kevin O'Sullivan. Carney pins him to the boards, but there's a centering pass intercepted by Maine. This is Steve Tepper. Over the blue line, he'll come. He's got Massera and Straub. Takes 2 men to the boards. Tepper goes down, centering pass, but no one is there but red shirts, and puck is fired down the ice. King will come out and play it as BU makes more changes. Tepper is there, but that's a icing call. I think that was Scott King's, right? Yep. See that often. 13 minutes and 12 seconds left in this third period of play. The Bears know that they will be right back here next weekend for the first round of the Hockey East playoffs, but they could take on that New Hampshire team. We don't know. And Michigan State, Lake Superior, that's a big showdown for first place out in the CCHA. Arch rivals. Can you imagine the intensity going on out there? That's at Lake Superior. That's at Sault Ste. Marie tonight. That's a weekend series, I think, out there. Stephen Foster doing all he can to keep it in, but doesn't. Now Maine breaks. Pellerin with Olsen. Shot stopped by Cashman, and he'll hold on. Randy Olsen had a grade A opportunity there, and Cashman came up big.
That line works so well together. Johnny Roy just is holding 2 guys off. You can't see him in the picture, and gives Scott Pellerin and Randy Olsen a great opportunity here for a goal. And Randy gets a nice quick shot off, and Scott Cashman just collects it and takes the whistle and can relax a little bit, a little better angle. Nice pass, unselfish. These guys are so unselfish. They just love to move it back and forth with each other. They play simple hockey, and they get good scoring opportunities like that.
Well, you mentioned this line of Olsen and Roy and Pellerin. They've been together for 13 games, and coming into tonight, they had 50 points. Now that is a line clicking. Here's McEachran moving in, firing it wide, way wide of King. There's a shot, score! As it kind of skipped in, and it came from the point by number 19, Alex Legault, as he scores another goal. And that was definitely a deflected or a skipping shot off the ice. That was a weird-looking shot by King.
Sean McEachern looked like he got his stick on that. It was a hard shot from the point. You can see 15 makes the attempt. He swings behind the net. Puck goes to the point. You'll see a blast come in. Now, it does. Well, we can't really see, but it was deflected from our vantage point. You can see it was deflected. Now, who deflected it, or if it was deflected, it's a ref's call. Here's a little bit better angle. Maybe we can pick it up. We see the blast from the point. Mike Barkley's stick there. Yep, right off Mike Barkley's stick.
And that sent it up high. King was going down to make the save, and it winds up behind him. So McEachern gets his 21st goal of the year. And it is a 4-2 game all of a sudden. Remember, these two teams have played 2 overtime games against each other already. King plays the puck to the corner. On it is Davis. Puck squirts free. Lalonde pins Davis again, and now Olsen takes over for Maine. Roy on it ahead, just tipped out to center ice. 12 minutes left in the third period. From center ice, the shot by Amonte goes wide as BU wants more changes. Ahola dumps it in one more time, making sure everybody gets changed. And as the whistle blows, Amonte goes down, and he's saying, I didn't get the number of that guy who did that trick. We won't tell him it was 28, will we?
Johnny's flipped him his glove, then gave him a little tug with the stick.
4-2, the Bears with a 2-goal lead, but the Terriers picking up the pace a bit here. Legault has both goals for BU. The freshman defenseman for the BU Terriers. He's on the puck again. Sulfi gives him a ride to the boards, but Joe Sacco is on it. Centering pass, but Carney gets it to the corner, and Barkley tries to clear the zone. Now Carney with it. BU really pressing hard on the checking, and here comes Belfast. He's taken to the boards by Legault, and it's swept behind the net. Sulfi goes after it. Belfast in front. It hits the side of the net. Main player goes down. The crowd wanted a call. Joe Sacco goes wing to wing with Amonte, who will drive it in deep. BU changes up one more time. 10 minutes and 40 seconds left in the third period. It's 4-2, Maine over BU. Now breaks Tomlinson. He'll wind up and fire it wide. Boy, that was another heavy shot. Tipped in front by Tomlinson. Wide to the other side this time. Sullivan in deep. In front, the puck is loose. Sullivan continues to work hard and goes down. Now Peter Ahola tees it up. It's stopped by King. Penalty coming up on Maine as soon as they touch up, and they do. I take that back. I think they're going to call BU.
Ed Ronan a little upset with himself.
No, it's
what's going on here?
Wait a minute. Now they got the main bench open, the gate open, so it will be on Maine. Now we understand that the BU players are a little upset because they didn't think Maine had possession of the puck. That's why that BU player was a little upset. I thought for a minute he thought he was going to call it on them. But it is on Maine, but let's see who it is. The penalty box gate is open. But whoever the penalty's on went to the bench trying to hide. And let's see who it is. It's Pellerin, I guess.
Jimmy Montgomery.
Okay, it's Monty. Okay.
We'll get this straight, Dale. To be honest with you, I don't even think he was on the ice. Because Brian Downey went to the box like he thought it was on him, and oh well. Maine's got a kill.
Yeah, in a nutshell, that's
We'll table that one.
All right, and so BU has the power play, and let's see what happens. Call this a key juncture in this third period. It's 4-2. The BU Terriers have just scored a goal to make it a 2-goal game, and now they have a power play opportunity. McEachern gets it back. Von Stefanelli's shot is blocked down in front. Barkley just flips it to center ice. Roy moves in, but he's offside, and what a hit he laid on Von Stefanelli.
Pompey not only can score goals, he can hit. This could be an interference call, but might be sending a little message here. Just lowers that shoulder. Beautiful hit. Too bad he didn't have the puck. Great body position, using the leverage of his body, and that had to open up your eyes a little bit if you're the opposing player.
Jack Parker knows this is an important time period for his team, and he's got out Tomlinson out there with Ronan and Ahola on defense, but Maine can break out. Here comes Pellerin up the right side. His shot to the near side was stopped by Cashman. He picked that bottom corner, did Pellerin, but Cashman was there to make the stop. Pellerin bidding for a shorthanded goal. Sullivan goes wing to wing to David Tomlinson. Scremin does a nice job to prevent that from happening, and Maine sends it to center ice. Now Rob Regan. Now here comes Scremin. He'll move in. Shot is blocked, but Maine kills some time off the penalty. Tomlinson moves in. He's got Ronan. Loses the puck temporarily, but sends it around the dasher to Ed Ronan. Scremin continues to work there. Amante moves in, but the Bears try to get it to center ice and do. Meanwhile, Belfay drives a heavy shot. It's gloved away by Cashman, and here come the BU Terriers. Amante at center ice has got Reagan and McEachern. Sean goes in deep, but Maine plays it first. Lalonde around the dasher, but not out. Here's Ronan. Lalonde does a nice job poke-checking that, and the puck goes to center ice. Now here comes SoFi. Moving in, shooting, stopped by Cashman. Oh, what a play by Scott Cashman to keep this a 2-goal game. And a Maine player winds up down on the ice, and we've got a whistle. And let's see what's happening now, because Scott Cashman is furious. I think he wanted a penalty coming up on Maine on Sulphi, but there is no call either way.
BU player is being very vocal with Taylor. I can't believe he hasn't given more unsportsmanlike conduct penalties out. For a referee to take that, it just really surprises me.
14 seconds now left on the penalty to Montgomery. The Bears trying to kill us, and now look at Jack Parker on the bench. He's having another go around with the referee. Now he's sending one of his captains over. Now the crowd getting into it here. Now Sean Walsh sends somebody out, and the referee says, no.
In the same instant that Claudio comes out, Jack Parker sends him Ahoya back out on the ice, and the linesman caught it. And I didn't think the linesman saw it. Little cat and mouse game going on.
And the linesman comes over and tells the referee, no, get him off. So Ahola has to go off, and Von Stefanelli has to come back. And finally, they drop the puck. Little cat and mouse game there for sure. All right, Legault is on it. He's got the 2 goals for BU. Amante can't get control of the puck, but Von Stefanelli does. Phil Von Stefanelli fires it on King, who saves that comfortably. Around the dasher it'll come. Sacco tries to keep it in, swept out by Robitaille, and here comes Maine. Montgomery flying in, sweeps a shot on, stopped by Cashman. Von Stefanelli sends Montgomery to the ice, and here comes BU. Amonte up the right side. Scremin tries to give him a hit, but Monte was already down, and it is really getting nasty out there right now. As players are taking an extra second or two to give a little shot, for instance, right here.
Monte takes a knee of Claudio Scremin right in the head, and you've got to feel that a little bit. But Claudio's doing the right thing. He's finishing his check, and keep doing that, they're going to win up. I don't even want to say it, Dale. We still have 8 minutes left here.
Well, it looked like Scremin had him all lined up, and then Amonte went down, and he was trying to prevent himself from getting into the boards. There's a shot by Scremin that's gloved by Cashman. Here's Scremin on it again. Blocked down in front. Takes a stick from Tomlinson on that play. A lot of stick work after the passes are made. To the corner it goes. Tepper is on it for Maine, but it's kept in by BU. There's a blast from the point. King stopped that one. Centering pass blocked down in front, and we've got a whistle as we've got a BU player in the crease. We'll take a break in the action. It is Maine 4 and Boston University 2.
This is our brand new Sealy Gallery at the Country Farm Furniture Store in Kennebunk. Here you'll find every style of bedding in the Sealy line, from the classic luxury to the top-of-the-line ultra-premium Posturepedics. To celebrate this new gallery opening, we're having the greatest Sealy sale ever, and we're going to give away this queen-size ultra-premium pillow top mattress and box spring. On top of that, we'll deliver your bedding free of charge, because that's part of the services you'll always get at the Country Farm Furniture Stores of Kennebunk and Gray.
7 minutes and 14 seconds left in the game in the third period, and we've got a penalty coming up on Maine, and this time it will be Scott Pellerin. And now Sean Walsh can't believe it.
Who would ever want to be a ref? I don't know. They have to take so much abuse. Not that I would know anything about that.
And so the Bears will have to kill off another penalty. And remember, it's only a 2-goal difference here. In front, wraparound shot by Sacco never reaches on net, and Maine clears it outside the zone. The call on Pellerin, by the way, was slashing. Now Tony Amonte drives it in, but King does a nice job to stop that from going any further. Now Sulfi sweeps it outside the zone. Legault to Von Stefanelli, and now Amonte. It'll come to Sacco in front, jumps over his stick, and Claudio Scremin clears the zone. Claudio's played outstanding defense tonight. Now McEachern tees it up. It's blocked by Carney, and King will just hold on. And now look what happens after the whistle.
It's funny you say that. Claudio Scremin, you know, you never really see him doing the fancy plays or making the full ice rushes, but he's always there. He's always playing good defense, and that's what the pros need now. There's a lot of guys who can play offense and play a little defense. What the pros need are defensive defensemen, and every team needs at least 4. I mean, they just need them. And
a guy like Bob Beers comes to mind.
A guy like Bobby Beers, who's playing great down in Portland for the Mariners, and he's going to get his chance. Maybe not this year, but next year for sure. And Claudio Scremin's going to get his chance with Minnesota.
Straub behind the net. Montgomery tries to connect with Robitaille, but the BU Terriers keep it in. Tomlinson. Now Ronan. Tomlinson again. Makes a spin move. A lot of work along the boards, and that's just fine with Maine, but squirts free to the open side. Now Sullivan, Ahola, drives it to the open corner. Straub goes after it, as does Carney. It squirts in front. Ronan's wraparound shot blocked, and here comes Maine 2-on-1. Montgomery and Robitaille. Jim to Montgomery. He can't connect with Robitaille, and they go down, and crowd on that end wanted a penalty on BU, and there's a punch thrown by BU, and the referee saw it, and the BU player is going off. Ronan is going off as he threw a punch at Robitaille, and the referee was right there. Ronan is going off, and that'll mean that we'll skate 4-on-4 for 29 seconds.
The best part of that whole scene was Jimmy Montgomery laying a beautiful clean check on Mike Sullivan. That's what started all that commotion.
Hitting after the whistle, and it was. And you see Pellerin about ready to come out of the box. And finally, the referee says, let's play hockey. Belfay will take the draw with McKechnie. Won by BU. Von Stefanelli drives it in on King, who sticks it and then flips it to center ice. He is so good at that, isn't he? Roy against Von Stefanelli. And here comes BU. It's a power play advantage for another few seconds here for BU. Puck winds up on the net behind it, so they'll have a face-off. 5:13 now left in this third period of play. By the way, while all this was going on, I thought I heard the PA announcer say that New Hampshire beat Northeastern. And I think there is still a slight possibility that Northeastern could wind up in that number 6 slot, which would mean the number 3 team would play Northeastern. And I don't think the Bears want to play Northeastern here either. Between New Hampshire, Northeastern, and Lowell, I think the choice would be Lowell. Wouldn't you think?
Yes, I agree.
If Maine wins, they know that they're going to finish in second place. Puck winds up on the Maine bench, and so we'll have another face-off. Robitaille is in the box. And Ed Ronan is in the box, and so it's 5-on-5, matching penalties. They're hitting after the whistle, the call on both of them. Trying to make a move around the man. Cashman sweeps it to the corner. Regan tries to move out. Roy keeps it in. He's got Pellerin in front. He moves in there. Olsen came through the slot and couldn't get it on net. Roy remains with the puck. Olsen now against Foster. It jumps ahead. Carney moves in deep to keep it in, but the Terriers break out. Koskamaki drives it in on King, who will play the puck behind the net. Now it's loose. Darren McDonald is there. He fans on the shot and outbreaks Maine. Olsen's got Roy and Pellerin. Here's Jean in front. There's shot. Score! Randy Olsen.
All the BU players are mesmerized by the puck. They're watching Jean-Yves Roy. Going to see what he does with it. Randy Olsen just comes down the back door and just puts a shot on net. It just trickles through Cashman's, just over his body almost. You can see everybody watching Roy here. He just feathers a nice pass cross ice to Randy Olsen. And just a nice shot, and it's in the net.
Trickled in the net, and that's all that matters. 5-2. Maine takes command again with just over 4 minutes left in the game. Now Massera drives it into the open corner and goes after it. Around the net he'll go. Back to the point, it'll come to Lalonde. He'll wait and then dump it in deep. Downey gets to it, but He's ridden off the play. Von Stefanelli clears it to the corner. Massera gives a man a hit. Now Downey joins in. Finally, Legault takes over for BU. Ahead now is Bavis. To Tomlinson. Trying to move in. Bavis goes to the corner. He sweeps it through center there, but no BU player is there, and Maine takes over. Montgomery. Now, Lalonde all down on the play, and back comes BU. This is Mark Chris. Over the blue line he comes. Burke will ride him to the corner. Maine will take over. Just over 3 minutes now left in the game. The Bears with the lead, but there's BU in front, and King has it between the pads. And penalties coming out. We'll take a break in the action. It is Maine 5 and BU 2. We'll come back to Alphond after this quick timeout.
Weir's Motors understands commitment. Commitment to your satisfaction, to service. That's an easy thing to say, but where's the proof? It's right here in Weir's Service Department, where Clem Fecto has been servicing your Weir's GMC for 25 years. That's commitment, and that's what I want when I buy a truck. Weir's Motors has made the commitment to be your truck dealer in the 90s. Come see the folks at Weir's Motors, US Route 1, Arundel, Southern Maine's Truck Center.
All right, there you see the numbers. Just over 5 minutes to go, and Maine has second place locked up if things stand as they are for the moment. The penalty is on Joe Sacco of BU, and so Maine has another chance here on the power play, and they've been very successful. This time, Sean Walsh sends out the Barkley line with Sulfi and Belfay to see if they can do some work and perhaps reward them for a great night of checking. Now Sulfi with it. This is Carney. Intercepted by Ronan, and he'll throw it to center ice.
Those things work out. You want to let everybody have a little power play experience because you never know what's going to happen. Never know.
Now Barkley, 2-on-1 with Belfay. He'll take a shot. It winds up into the balcony. Can you believe that? My, oh my, he flipped that thing. Wanted to shoot it high, and it went right straight to the balcony. How high is that, would you say? 20 feet?
20 feet, yeah. See fans checking their shins.
Mike Barkley said, well, I looked it a little high. Now BU sweeps it down the ice. Maine with another power play here for another minute and 15 seconds. When Stefanelli fires it in, that would not have done any damage because that was an offside call. He had a player in the zone when he took that shot.
Joe Sacco's probably regretting that penalty a little bit. There was no need for it. Just a retaliation penalty after the whistle, and I'm sure Sean's happy he did it, but Coach Parker, on the other hand, is probably a little upset because this is a real important time of the game, and they're going to be back at full strength with a minute left.
The Bears hoping to win game number 28 on the year. What a marvelous season it has been with such a young team. Now Olsen to the corner. Stefanelli tries to pin him there. Puck is loose. Now Roy, his shot goes wide. Scremin moves up to keep it in. Maine on the power play. Straub deflected down in front, but there's Jean-Yves. Scremin holds, fires it to the open corner. Olsen grabs it behind the net. Here's Roy in front. Pellerin tried to tip it home. His shot hits Cashman in the chest, and finally BU clears to center. 27 seconds left on the penalty. Just a minute and a half left on the game. Here comes Olsen. Trying to centering that puck, but can't. Tomlinson moves it out. The Bears are going to grab second place in Hockey East with a minute or so left in the game and a 5-2 lead over the BU Terriers. Here comes Maine with their last rush up ice on this power play. Olsen, now Burke. He goes down on the play, and BU starts back. 1 minute now left in the game. 1 minute. Bears with a 3-goal lead. Outstanding performance by the Bears, offensively and defensively. A combination of Matt Del Judas for the first half of the game, and then Scott King. This is Mark Bavis moving up ice for BU. Now just a half a minute left in the game. The Bears will secure second place in Hockey East. Centering pass in front by King goes to the corner now. Tepper with a heavy hit. Tomlinson's shot is blocked down in front. Brownscheidle's shot never reaches net, and that'll do it. The Bears have won the game 5-2 and clinched second place in Hockey East. Sean Walsh and Jack Parker shake hands as the Bears move to 28-8-2, and in Hockey East they move to 14-6-1. Outstanding league record.
Good way for the seniors to finish their regular season careers here. Probably a little emotional game for them.
And the star of the game for the Maine Black Bears with a goal and 2 assists, none other than Le Pompier, Jean-Yves Roy. And he had one of the prettiest goals, prettiest passes of the year, and it's goal number 33 on the year. And he's our player of the game. We'll take a break, and we'll come back to wrap things up in just a moment. Maine has won it over the BU Terriers 5-2, the final score.
This is the time to buy America's top-selling mattress at Lake Region Furniture. Sealy's complete line, including the Sealy Posturepedic, has never been priced lower. Choose the firmness you want and get the same low price. And when you purchase the Sealy Posturepedic, you'll receive sheets at no additional cost.
Lake Region Furniture, bringing the best to your home.
This is a limited time offer only at Lake Region Furniture, Route 25 in Gorham.
I've got one word of advice for any of you guys with teenage kids. Seaborn. You see, I was a tough kid. Had my first beer when I was 10, my first joint when I was 12. By 16, I was so tough I almost OD'd at a party one night. That's when my parents made me visit Seaborn Hospital. I felt like hell, but I went. Now, I'm 19, I'm straight, and I'm alive. Tough kids need tough parents.
Some people take risks that can lead to a heart attack or stroke. Risks like smoking and ignoring high blood cholesterol and doing nothing about high blood pressure. Combine 2 or 3 of these and your chances are even worse. Why take chances? Quit smoking. Lower your cholesterol and watch that high blood pressure. That heart attack or stroke may never happen.
Five-2 final score of the Maine Black Bears with a victory over Boston University tonight to wrap up the regular season. It was a chance for the seniors to say goodbye in their last regular season game at the Alphon, but it was a freshman, our star of the game tonight, with a goal and a couple of assists. He's a regular here in the post-game shows. Jean-Yves Roy, great game again tonight. You guys had something to prove. You wanted second place in Hockey East, and no question, who was the better team tonight?
Well, first of all, thanks a lot for the game. I mean, we played well, and I think we proved our point. We're our second in the Hockey East, and I think we proved it tonight. We beat them 5-2, and we kind of dominated the game and all the aspect. So it's a pretty good win for us.
All right, let's take a look at the goal you got. You were telling me in the break there, you don't remember what happened. Let's take a look and see together.
I was just flying off the wing, and I know I had just 1D to beat, and I had a poor angle, so I took a backhand. I saw he gave me a rebound. I just had a little piece of it. I don't know how it went in. Oh my God. Well, when you go to the net, you provoke things and things happen. And sometimes you get lucky and you score. That's what happened there.
All right, now you're on to the Hockey East playoffs. You got second place overall. What's the plan? Has the coaching staff mapped out any strategy as you get ready for the playoffs?
No, not yet. I think we're just going to keep playing the way we play now because we played pretty well. And we played a playoff kind of game. And we're pretty happy with that.
Scott King came in tonight and did a nice job in relief, too.
Yeah, he was outstanding. I mean, he kept us in the game when it was 4-2. He deserved to be there. I mean, it was the last game of regular season. He's a senior, and he deserved it. Played well.
All right, Jean-Yves, nice job tonight. We wish you luck. The playoffs are coming up. Not much time for you guys to rest.
Well, thanks a lot.
All right, our player of the game tonight with a goal and a couple of assists, Jean-Yves Roy. The Maine Bears win it 5-2 to clinch second place in Hockey East. We'll come back with stats and final thoughts on tonight's game in a moment.
It's the largest celebration in Maine, and it's happening in Lewiston and Auburn on May 12th. Be part of the excitement in Six Alive's 7th annual Maine State Parade. Write to Six Alive, 189 Main Street, Lewiston, Maine, 04240. Or call the parade hotline at 784-0599 today for your application. Strike up the band, build a float, and come join in the fun, because family matters.
This week on the business scene, a look at the intricate and time-consuming work of artist and woodcarver John Bryan. I'm Chris Rose. This Sunday, a look inside this craftsman's workshop as he carves his most challenging piece yet. The story on News Center at noon.
University of Maine Black Bear Hockey. Brought to you by Coca-Cola. You can't beat the feeling. Coke.
All right, 5-2 the final score, and as Jean-Yves Roy told Rich Kimball a moment ago, I think it's fair to say that Maine did dominate the BU Terriers.
Well,
here
they played 60 minutes of consistent hockey, and that's what they're going to have to do to continue to have success in the playoffs. So, see what happens.
And so the Bears have won second place in Hockey East. Most likely the opponent is going to be Lowell. In fact, it's about 98% sure that the Lowell Chiefs will be here for the best-of-3 series next weekend. Maine did lose a toughie 2-1 to them the first time they met this year, but Maine beat Lowell 7-3 and 7-2 in their next two meetings. So the Bears obviously with the home ice and a great shot to get to the semifinals in the Hockey East.
Well, they can't take anyone lightly in the playoffs, and they're going to have to come out and play consistent hockey.
Like they did tonight. All right, 5-2 the final score. Let's send it back down to Rich. Rich?
Okay, thanks very much, guys. Do want to remind you that coming up tomorrow, we have college basketball coming up here on our network as the Maine Black Bears will be at the Bangor Auditorium to play host to the BU Terriers, #1 in the North Atlantic Conference, but Maine beat them in overtime earlier this week, 73-70. They'll try to do the same thing at home, and we'll join it tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock with Bill Green and Tony Hamlin. That does it from here for tonight. We thank you for joining us. The final score again, Maine 5, Boston University 2. For Scott Smith and Dale Duff, I'm Rich Kimball saying goodnight from Alfond Arena.